So today's presentation, we're going to show you guys how to make some money with Amazon, and there's no better person out there that I can think of to have you guys learn this new strategy than Ty Cohen. Ty and I met on Marketers Cruise several years ago, and then we've also been able to be on stage at several events across the globe speaking about our passions. And Ty's figured out a way to partner with Amazon in a way that offers you a way to make residual checks, monthly residual checks that pay all your monthly residual bills. So think about all those monthly residual bills you have to pay every single month, no matter what. Your house payment, your car payment, maybe your student loan or your credit card debts or your food bill. You know, some of these bills you always got to pay every single month, right? If there was a way that we could show you how to get rid of those monthly bills and turn them into residual assets with little tiny ebooks, would you want to know how to do that? Because if that's you, you're in the right place today, and Ty is going to show you guys how he's getting paid by Amazon with his Kindle publishing system. As I said, he's the guy that pretty much created the system way back in the day and has perfected it over the years to where it's just a well-oiled machine now, and Amazon sends him checks every single month. The good news is you don't have to do this. You don't have to be worried about this if you don't know how to write a book. You know, I don't write books. I suck at writing books. So we're going to show you guys and talk about ways you can get books written for you. You don't have to worry about this. You know, if you don't know how to get traffic to your books, don't worry about that. We'll talk about that. And there's other questions and other objections that come up to people that say, I don't want to write a book. I don't want to deal with having to write stuff and come up with a storyline and figure all this stuff out. Don't worry about it. Ty is going to show you some amazing ways you can outsource this process today as well. So there's a lot of content that's going to be shared today for people who are really into writing as well as people who are really into making money, which is why we're all here today, right? So Ty, I'm going to throw it back over to you for the second time and see how it goes this time around.
Absolutely. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Here we go. Well, it looks like we have a really active crowd here, and you know that's what happens sometimes when you're doing these things live. You sit there and you talk to one another for about 5 minutes while your audience is waiting, but that's all right. So everyone should see a teardrop right now on your screen. You should see a teardrop, and if you do, just put yes into the questions box. Yes, says Terry. Okay. Ann says yes. Manu, Sandy, Kenny, G.D., Jackie, E.J., H, Pedro, Ottilia, Kevin, Edward. I hope I got that right, Ottilia. Edward Bush says yes, so you should see a teardrop. Ottilia, right? Lindy, I like that name. Bob. All right, so it looks like everyone can see my screen. We've got another Bob. We've got Deanna. We've got another Michael. Joe, Ruth. Awesome, awesome. Ton of people that are on here. So here's what happens. Normally when you watch a presentation like this, it's one individual that's speaking to you, right? But I like to make this a two-way conversation. I don't want to just talk to you. I want to make sure that you're engaged. I want to make sure that your questions get answered. I want to make sure that you understand everything that I cover. And with that said, the same question box that you're putting your yeses into, I want you to ask your questions there. If I go over anything that you don't quite get, or if you need some clarity on, be sure to say, Ty, you know, can you go over that again? And at the end, we will have a total 100% Q&A session where I answer every single question, all right? So let's dive right into this. I've got a lot of great material that I want to share with you. You will be able to get started with this tonight, all right? So the material that I give you now, you'll be able to get started with it today, tonight, whenever you want. So with that said, I want you to get rid of all of the distractions. Turn off your phone. Get rid of Facebook, right? Facebook is the devil right now. If anyone's in your home right now, let them know that you need just a couple of minutes of uninterrupted time and that it will be well worth it. Also, grab something to take notes on and to write with, a pen, a pencil, a crayon, a marker if you have to. All right? So let's go. All right. Yes, Deanna, absolutely. I love it. The great questions are coming in already. I love this, Jeff. So now, how many people see a teardrop? You all see a teardrop, right? And why do I have a teardrop right here on the screen? That's pretty unusual. Well, the reason why is because, you know, I want to ask you a question. How many people have ever had hardships or difficulty in their life? They've had a problem. They've had some type of a dilemma. They've had, you know, just something that that seemed like, man, you could never get past it, right? Like it was this major obstacle, right? And let's be honest with ourselves. Some of us, we may have had an issue just today, right? Just within the last hour, or at some point in our life. We may have went bankrupt. We may have almost lost our home. We may have had health issues, kids that act nuts, right? A spouse, a divorce that we've gone through, something, right? Business that failed. Absolutely. So yes, 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 says Deanna. Absolutely. All right. So that was, you know, what I was born into. I was born into a lot of hardships and just a really troubling period of my life. I was born in Father Panic Village, a housing project in Bridgeport during the 80s, the days of crack cocaine and heroin. So it wasn't the best place to be. You know, I saw where a lot of my friends actually ended up losing their lives at a very young age, right? In more ways than one. This is my old crew. This is me up here on the left-hand corner. Most of these guys, unfortunately, are dead or in jail right now. They never got to see the true potential that we all have within us, right? Doesn't matter who you are or where you come from or the obstacles that you've gone through or will go through. We all have an amazing amount of potential within us. We just have to be able to recognize it. So unfortunately, a lot of these guys are not with us right now. In addition to being born in the environment, right? Father Panic Village, worst ghetto in the Northeast during that time. I was also born with something called sickle cell anemia. All right, this is a genetic disease. It's something that you're born with. How many people have ever heard of sickle cell anemia? It's actually a chronic disease. I was actually in the sickle cell anemia crisis a few days ago. But this is a chronic disease that causes an incredible amount of pain. You know, I've never had a baby or had given childbirth before, but they say it's twice as painful as giving birth. Imagine that, right? And the only way to diminish the pain a bit is with high levels of medicine like Dilaudid, morphine, Demerol, and that stuff has to be administered to you in the hospital, right? So I've spent weeks and weeks and weeks on end in the hospital, at times 2-3 weeks at a time, as many as 6 weeks in a time in the hospital. I've had 2 hip replacements before I was 30. Think about that. I had to learn how to walk all over again at one point when I was a teen, and I had to learn how to use my left arm all over again when I was in my early 20s. So there's one time when I'm actually, you know, the way sickle cell anemia works is your blood cells are normally round and pliable, right? So they flow through your veins, your capillaries, and arteries pretty freely, right? But when you're in a sickle cell anemia crisis, what happens is they start to clump up and they start to turn sickle shape, as you can see here. And that's actually where the name sickle cell anemia comes from. And when this happens, they start to clump up, and it creates a traffic jam, and it creates an incredible amount of pain. So this pain can hit you in your chest, and when it does, that's like you feel like dying, right? It can hit you in your wrists. It can hit you in your knees, your back, your ankles, your elbows, your tailbone, anywhere that you can imagine, your head sometimes, like in that brain area. So one time I'm in Yale New Haven Hospital. I'm about 12 years old, and I'm going through a sickle cell anemia crisis. I had been in the hospital for about 3 or 4 weeks, right? I had just received 2 or 3 blood transfusions, and just outside of my hospital door, I hear my mom and my doctor talking, and the doctor says, "Mrs. Cohen, you shouldn't expect your son Ty to live past the age of 17. Think about that. I'm 12 years old, and I hear my doctor literally giving me a death sentence. Now, my mom and my doctor, they weren't aware that I could hear the conversation because they were outside of my hospital room door. But I heard this, and I just started bawling. I raised the covers over my head, and I just started crying like crazy. And I don't want them to hear me, right? Because I'm thinking, man, either I'm going to die as a result of my environment, where I was born at, where I was raised at, like so many of my peers were dying, right, at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, or this disease is going to kill me, right? And then to make things worse, out of my entire family, my brothers and sisters, and I had 4 brothers and 3 sisters, right? And it was just me and my sister Gwen who have sickle cell anemia. And a few months after I got out of the hospital, my sister Gwen died from it. Right? So I'm really thinking like this is my destiny. I don't have long on this earth. Right? So, and you know, I didn't think much of myself until I took the ride that changed my life. You know, my dad wasn't in my life. Well, I shouldn't say that, but my mom and my dad were separated, and my dad had always been in my life. Right? So he would come by the house uh, really regularly. This guy was a hard worker. I mean, he always worked 2, 3 jobs. Right? I've never seen him work just one job. Didn't have a college degree or anything like that, but he outworked anyone that I knew. Right? And he would come by on Sundays and pick me and my younger brother Michael up for church, and he would take us to church. And one day, as we're coming home from church, um, I'm about 17 at this time. And as I'm riding in the back, he had this old Volkswagen Beetle. As I'm riding in the back of his car, I see this book by a gentleman by the name of Les Brown. All right? And I'm flipping through this book, and I'm seeing, you know, stuff like, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. And I'm reading it, and it was the first time I had ever been turned on to personal development. I had never seen anything like that before. How many people are familiar with Les Brown here? All right, just give me a quick yes. Yes, 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 yes. And life is so strange because Les and I actually ended up becoming mastermind partners. We ended up becoming partners in a mastermind out in Vegas where we would meet up every couple of months and help each other on our businesses along with a few other very powerful people in this industry. But how many people have ever heard of Les Brown? Yes, 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 he's awesome, says Linda. Yes, says Terry. Yes, says Otilia, Deanna, Patrick, Latia, Manu, Eddie, Media Man, wow, Kenny, Kevin, Ruth, Anthony. Awesome, awesome. I love this crowd. I love the interaction, okay? So now I'm flipping through this book, and it was Les' first book, and I'm reading, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality, all right? And then I saw, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back because if you can look up, you can give up. I'm 17, and I'm reading this. And I had never seen it or heard anyone in my environment speak this way before. So I thought Les was talking to me in this book, right? And it would take us about 15 minutes to drive from church back to my mom's house before my dad got to drop us off. And as I'm flipping through this book, I became really interested. Like, my mom was really smart, so she knew that whenever I would go into the hospital and go through the sickle cell anemia crisis, because the pain was so intense, she had to get my mind off of it. She had to deflect the pain in some way. So how did she do that? She would get me like stacks and stacks of comic books and other books. So I loved reading. So I'm looking at this book. It's about 200 something pages, and it's in the back of my dad's car. And when we got to my house, right, my dad's about to drop us off. Guess what I did? What do you think a 17-year-old would do at that point? Right? He sees something that he's interested. I did something that I'm not too proud of, but I stole a book from my dad's car, right? And forgive me, Lord, forgive me, God, forgive me, Dad. Right. And I took it home and I read it that night. Okay, Deanna says borrowed it forever. Absolutely. I took it home and I stayed up till about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and I read it from cover to cover. And that was, sometimes we have pivotal points in our life, right, where we have these life-changing events that take place. And in this book, I also saw, you know, accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go, no one else. When I saw this, I said, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to get out of this environment, but I know that I'm going to do it. I don't know what else is out there, but I know that there's more for me than what I currently see. I know that there was more than drugs and destruction and death and just crime and things like that. All right? And then the other thing that really stuck was this. Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. So what the doctor said about me not living past 17, I had to shake that. You know, sometimes we let people say things and it becomes our reality, and we live with that. All right? So I didn't know how I was going to get out of this ghetto, how I was going to change my life at 17. We don't have the answers. We think we do, but we don't have the answers. I've got 2 17-year-olds right now that think they have all of the answers. But I started up different businesses, and I failed. How many people have tried different things, and they you just can't seem to get anything to work? That was me. I tried stuffing envelopes. I tried advertising in the back of classifieds. I tried just everything. And I couldn't get anything to work. And it wasn't until I came across this system that I'm going to share with you today, this Kindle Cash Flow program, where I started to see, number one, an immense amount of success to the point where it just boosted my confidence, right? Where I was now making more money in a month than I had previously made in an entire year, right? It wasn't until I came across this system where I finally got something that had legs and that was super easy to do, and that was built on a concrete system, right? And that allowed me to partner with a multi-billion-dollar company like Amazon. So how many people want to see this? You know, since doing this, it's really changed my life. This is my wife Melida here. This is me. This is, you know, our son Devon, my daughter Maya, and this thing has changed our life so far. It's like to an amazing degree. This is when we first got married here, right? This is my dad. He's no longer with us, right? This is my dad, the one who used to take me to church, come by on Sundays and take me to church. You know, remember I told you guys that he was a hard worker. At any given moment, he worked 2 or 3 jobs. Right? I remember him being, at the same time, a construction worker. That was his main job. He would work 45, 50 hours a week building up downtown Connecticut, right? In New York, Manhattan, as a construction worker and building high-rise buildings. He also worked part-time as a security guard and as a taxi driver. And it was one night he's driving taxi and some idiots decided to rob him. And as he's getting out of a car, he throws the keys to him. He drops his wallet on the floor and he walks away. He says, "You guys can have it." And as he's walking away, they shoot him 6 times in the back. So when I say hard times, this is what I'm talking about. So my father is no longer with us, and you know, sometimes we go through things that we can't let stop us. But you know, Amazon has changed things. This is our 10th anniversary right here. We celebrated in Puerto Rico. Took the entire family, 30 plus members of ours, and we flew them all over to Puerto Rico and we celebrated. We renewed our vows. All right, my wife Melida, myself, and these are our 4 children: Devon, Tyler, Maya, and Summer. All right? So this is all because of Amazon. You see how you get that one thing that could totally change your life? Totally change your life. We renewed our vows 10 years later. Right? Amazon, this thing works so well that it's allowed me to, as Jeff said, we travel all over the place, right? So here we are, we're in California, we're in Hollywood. Here we are, we're out in Jamaica here, right? We just got back from Thailand. I took all 6 of us. We've got a huge family. So all 4 of our kids, we went out to Thailand, my wife, for 2 weeks, right? And we're staying at some of the best places. This home that we rented here was incredible. It's like a mansion. Pool right here. The pool stretched all the way over to the kitchen, dining room, all the way over to the master bedroom on this side. Right? We got to hang out with some of the monks, right? Got to see a lot of the different areas out in Thailand. So just had an incredible, great time. But this is the lifestyle that publishing to Amazon affords you, right? So just some really incredible things. This is my daughter Summer. She loves beauty pageants, right? As a matter of fact, she holds the highest title for her age in Raleigh, North Carolina for beauty pageants, and Amazon pays for it. She's been on several magazine covers, right? Do you see how things has changed? How many people know who this guy right here is? Over here on the right-hand side. How many people know who this guy is? I got to actually meet him and chill out, and we hung out for about 4 or 5 hours, and his wife. Right? Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful, says Anna. All right? Thank you, says Deanna. Gorgeous family, says Deanna. Thank you. Not sure. Kenya, that's Tony Robbins. How many people know Tony Robbins? Got to hang out with him. This is how things change, right, when you find the right system. And this is what I'm going to share with you in just a moment. And I'm not showing you this stuff to brag, but I'm just showing you what's possible. Because had you asked me when I was 17, when I was 12 years old, laying in that hospital bed, I would have thought you were nuts. Had you said, Ty, you know, you're going to be traveling all around the world. You're going to be meeting incredible people like Tony Robbins, guys like Snoop Dogg here. You know, I don't smoke or anything like that, but when I met Snoop Dogg, I thought I had a contact. I thought I felt some type of contact here, right? But this is how your life changes. Right, here we are, we're in the desert riding Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Audi R8. Here's another thing. This is something that's been on my bucket list, to learn how to fly a helicopter. All because of Amazon. Amazon pay, and Jeff alluded to this. Amazon pays for my dream life, right? Learning how to ride, drive Formula One cars, all right? My wife Melanie and I here, all right? Now, here's how things change. It's funny when you start to get money, right? when you start to make millions of dollars and you start to make, even when you start to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? We'll keep it pretty basic. It's not a lot of money, and it's fairly easy to make, all right? Once we change how we think about it. But when you start to get money, people change and they treat you differently. How many people would agree to that? Here we are, right? When you start to fly first class, we're boarding the plane, and guess what the pilot invites my children to do? My son Tyler and my daughter Summer. He invites them to come in and sit in the cockpit. Now I know my kids. I don't think they should be sitting. All right. I don't think that they should be sitting up in the cockpit. But that's the reality of it. When you get money, people treat you differently, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they do. Now this is something that I'm the most proud of. My father's no longer with me, but my mom is, right? And she loves traveling. She's never been able to afford it on her own. But now I get to take her literally around the globe, worldwide. Her passport has been stamped more than most people. If I ask 10 people, all right, there's a good chance that her passport has more stamps than most individuals that I come across. Here we are in the Dominican Republic. This is my most proudest moment here, just being able to, and my mom just found out about this thing called the bucket list, right? And she thinks your son is supposed to fund your bucket list, all right? All right, so now, here I am. Like again, once you develop a system and you get something that makes money, people start to treat you differently. So I get invited to speak at all of these global events. All right, here we are in Southeast Asia. Again, brought my entire family out. Right, I'm speaking at the Internet Millionaire Summit in Southeast Asia here. Do you see this? All right, in front of a room of almost 1,000 people. Here I am. You can barely see me up on the stage here. Now, would they do that if I didn't know what I was talking about? So this is some of the things that I'm going to share with you. You know, I'm going to show you with you how to change your life. No matter what it is that you're doing right now, there's ways that you can improve. So I'm going to show you how to partner with Amazon to create an instant stream of monthly recurring revenue without having to personally sell anything. Does that sound good? How many people are ready to get started? If you're ready to get started, say yes. Say let's do it, because I'm going to jump right into it. You give me hope, says Jackie. Jackie, that's what I want to do. Thank you. All right? Thank you for that feedback. All right? That's it. Okay? And we're going to get, if we have any negative comments, we're getting rid of the negative people. Okay, Art? All right, awesome. This is a perfect, really positive group. We love it. All right, let's go. So first, what is a Kindle? All right, the Kindle is a portable device, right? It's actually an ebook reader. It started out as an ebook reader, and it was developed by Amazon.com, and it allows its users to be able to shop for, download, browse, and read ebooks, newspapers, magazines, blogs, reports, and other digital media. I love the interaction. Keep that coming. All right, and this is actually a Kindle right here. So it's pretty cool, right? You can go in and read your ebooks, and if Jeff said, Ty, you know, I'm reading the new version of Think and Grow Rich. Instead of me trying to find a Barnes & Nobles or Books of Millions, or Waterstone, right? What do you guys call it out in London? Waterhouse, Waterstone, I think it is, right? I would simply just pick up my Kindle device or my iPhone or my iPad, right? And go in and download that book and instantly be able to read it. So do you see how beautiful? You see how this thing has changed the landscape, right? And my goal is to show you how publishing ebooks to Amazon's Kindle can be highly profitable, easy, and an extremely long-lasting way to generate income. I've been doing this for 5 years. And the same books that I published 5 years ago are still making me money now to this day. Day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year after year. So right now there's a digital shift that's taking place where people are actually buying and consuming written material in the form of ebooks more than ever before. And this trend will actually continue, all right? Amazon is now selling more ebooks for Kindle than hardcover books. In fact, their CEO, Jeff Bezos, says that for every 100 hardcover books that they sell twice as many in the digital format. Now, let me ask you a question. We've got a smart group here, right? Tons of people on here. Who remembers the form that we first used to listen to music in? Who remembers that? How do we first start to listen to music? Let's see, we've got a ton of answers that are coming in. Wax says Joshua. Walkman says Media Man. 78's LP Record says Leilata, I think that is. Gramophone says Moses. Yeah, gramophone and then vinyl, right? Right? jukebox, okay? And then we went from those forms, right, to what? Went from vinyl to cassettes, like 8-track cassettes. Remember that? Absolutely. Ruth says cassettes, Deanna cassettes, tapes, Terry K says CD. And then we went from 8-track cassettes to what? To cassettes, right? Tape cassettes says Media Man, Deanna. And then we went from tape cassettes to what? CD says Jackie. Terry K says CD. Joshua, Ruth, Deanna. And then from CD to, how do we primarily listen to our music now? MP3. Stream says Joshua. MP3 says Deanna. iPod says Media. Absolutely, from our devices, right? Now, do you think we'll ever, I mean, I know there's people that collect vinyl, but do you think we'll ever go back to a period where we primarily listen to music in the form of a vinyl record or, God forbid, like a 8-track? No, not at all. Right? And this is the future of the publishing industry as we know it. Physical books will start to go the way of a dinosaur, right? As digital books start to get more and more popular. And right now it's happening. So we sell twice as many digital books as we do physical books. And that's coming straight from the mouth of babes, from Jeff Bezos, the CEO over at Amazon. There's 7 billion prospects that are on the face of the earth. Kindle ebooks are easily accessible across multiple platforms. One of the most brilliant things that I think Amazon did, and the reason why this is brilliant is because it makes me a lot of money, it makes my students a lot of money, and it will make you a lot of money, all right, is they created this Kindle app. So you don't even need to have a Kindle device, right? I don't have a Kindle device. Here I am, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars a month publishing ebooks, and I don't own a Kindle device. Because Amazon created this app, and they said if you have an app, the Kindle app, you can actually be able to go in and browse, shop for, and download ebooks on any of these devices. Okay, a PC, a Macintosh, an iPod, an iPad, an iPhone, a BlackBerry, an Android, right? If any of you folks still have Blackberries, does anyone still have a BlackBerry? Right, and that totally changed the landscape of things, right? This digital shift in the publishing platform that Amazon has provided is making some people extremely wealthy and at the least financially free with very little effort. I want to give you 3 examples of such people, right? The first is Amanda Hocking. She's an unknown 20-year-old girl from Minnesota, right? She's made over $2 million publishing stories to Kindle in a way that I'm going to show you how to do it in just a few moments. She's not a professional writer. I'm not a professional writer, all right? As a matter of fact, a lot of her material, a lot of people would consider not to be the best. I'm not telling you to publish crappy content. I'm going to show you how to get great content that makes you a great amount of money in just a moment. But this thing works so well that you have credible publications like Forbes, right, printing articles on this whole phenomenon. Who wants to be a Kindle millionaire? And it's not a flash in the pan. It's something, like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years, and every year, every month, it gets better and better and better. Right? Here's another example of someone that's just crushing it. This is a gentleman by the name of Stephen Lever. He's over in the UK, and he sells about 2,000 ebooks a day on Amazon's Kindle platform. All right? Now, let's do some simple math. Even if he's just generating 99 cents, a buck, per ebook sold, he's selling 2,000 a day. That's $2,000 a day. That's $60,000 a month. That's $720,000 a year. How many people can live with that? Right? I mean, you could pay a couple of bills doing this, right? Right? You can live a pretty modest life. And again, he's not a professional writer. He's not a professional publisher. He's just someone who stumbled upon this system, this platform that Amazon has provided. And Amazon has made this entire process easy. Why do you think they've made this entire process of getting started easy? What do you think that is? All right? They get a cut, absolutely. Smart group to help it grow, says Deanna. Hungry for content, says Terry. Terry, great. All about the money, says Joshua. They need content, says Manu. All right? When you make money, they make money, says Ruth. Absolutely. You know, Terry, you brought up a good point. They're hungry for content. Who can remember when Amazon first got started many, many years ago? Not too long ago, really, right? But it seems like forever in internet years. When they first got started, what was their primary goal? Do you remember that? And I'm going to take a sip of water while you guys put in your answers. What was their primary goal when Amazon.com first opened up for business? I'm seeing some incredible, awesome answers that are coming in here. Media Man, great answer. All right. Dan, great answer. Edward, awesome answer. Deanna, to get e-readers in hands, that came a little bit later. To be the world's biggest bookstore, says Ruth. Bam, that's it. Absolutely. Right? Amazon's #1 goal was to be the world's largest bookstore. That's before they started selling supplements and vitamins and diapers and cases of water and minerals and everything else, right? But their goal was to become the world's largest bookstore, the planet's largest bookstore. And they realized that they couldn't do it alone, especially with competition that's been in this industry forever, right? Like competition, like give me the names of a couple of bookstores, like Barnes & Nobles, Borders, Waterstones, Books A Millions, Kohl's, right? Thank you, Deanna. So they knew that they knew that they had to do something different, right? So what they came up with was the brilliant idea of making their global platform available for anyone who was a writer or, better yet, who had content. And that's where you and I and this gentleman that you see on your screen, Stephen Levitt, come into play. They said if we can digitize this stuff and make it available for anyone on the planet to be able to come in and publish, then we can hold the title as king of a bookstore. Does that make sense? Because when it's in the digital format, you're literally limitless. Okay, so let me show you another example. Does that make sense? I want to make sure that everything makes sense before I continue. Because I remember being on the other side and watching a lot of these presentations, these webinars, and the presenter would just gloss over stuff without making sure that you got it. So I want to make sure that you get it. Awesome. All right, so now another gentleman that's doing, an individual that's doing really well with this is a gentleman by the name of John Locke. He became the first person to sell 1 million Kindle ebooks, and he did it in less than a year with just 9 titles. And this is according to Amazon.com. So in addition to these folks, there are hundreds, if not thousands of people that are making thousands and tens of thousands of dollars selling content on Kindle. Now it's your turn. All right, you're at ground level of what is being called a new age diamond mine. And I want to show you just some of the money that I've been able to make just literally playing around with publishing ebooks before I created a streamlined system for doing it. Now I say playing around because like many of you, I had my hands in so many different things. I had like shiny object syndrome. Worst thing you could ever do. Do you guys mind if I give you a piece of advice before I show you the income? If you want to be successful at something, stop chasing everything. That's the advice that I had to give myself because I was chasing everything. I was subscribed to every email list out there. Right? Every Facebook ad, every email list, everything that I saw that came across my desk or my cell phone looked good to me. And before I knew it, I was purchasing program after program. And I had all of this stuff sitting on my hard drive. So stop subscribing to everyone. Don't unsubscribe from my list or Jeff's list, obviously, right? Because that's how you got here. But start to focus on 1 or 2 things, 3 things at most. When I started to focus on 3 things, I started to see my income rise. I went from making tens of thousands a month, right, to close to 100,000. And then I had months where I went to 300,000 a month, 400,000 a month, and more. But I couldn't get there until I had my focus in order. Does that make sense? I just wanted to share that with you. Okay? And that's just coming straight from the bottom of my heart. All right? You can't, the way the mind works is you can't focus on too many things at once because you end up not being successful at anything. Get that one thing, those 2 things, those 3 things running first, start seeing some profit, and then move on to the next thing. Right? And work on the easiest thing. Right? That's why this worked so well for me because it was the easiest thing at the moment. I didn't need a marketplace. Amazon provides that. I didn't need to know how to drive traffic. Amazon provided that. All I had to do was put my content in front of their marketplace, upload it to their system. And of course, I made a ton of mistakes, but I'll show you, how to avoid some of those mistakes. But I just wanted to share that with you because I was coaching one of my wife's younger cousins earlier today, and I told him, I said, look, dude, you're not going to be successful until you stop chasing every freaking thing. So the same advice that I give my family member is the advice that I wanted to share with you. All right? So there you go. All right. Okay, so now here's one of the first checks that I got when I started publishing. Okay, it was in the amount of $2,297.30. Now, when I first got this check, like I said, because I was chasing everything else, I had shiny object syndrome. It really didn't dawn on me as to how powerful this was. All right, $2,297.30, and this was from doing work one time. It wasn't until the next month when I got another check, and I didn't do anything, right? But I still got another check in the amount of $2,873.13. It was a 25% increase. And at this point, my interest is starting to peak. But still, I'm not totally getting it. So what I did was I went in and I uploaded a couple of more ebooks. Not too many. I didn't go crazy. I just, I'm just casually uploading a bit more. And then the next month, bam! I got another check for $4,462.53. At this point, I'm starting to pay attention. At this point, I'm starting to say, you know what if I change my price point? What if I tested some price points? Because this is a 55% increase, right, from this check. And then I said, well, what if I test different covers, or if I test different titles? Your titles are going to have a lot to do with the amount of sales that you bring in. And I'm going to share with you how to get some killer titles in about 5 or 10 minutes. Right? And then the next month, after implementing those things, I went from $4,462.53 to bam, $8,403.84. Now at this point, I'm not Irish, right? But I'm doing the Irish jig because I'm excited. I've never seen anything that had this much momentum this quickly, all right, and aligned with a real business. Again, and that was this easy. Amazon makes it easy because, again, as many of you guys alluded to, and ladies you alluded to earlier, they want you to make money because every time they make money, every time you make money, they make money. It's as simple as that. All right, they're not doing it because they're just great folks. They want you to make money because when you make money, they make money. And Amazon only takes 30%. They give you 70%. So then, after this, I started to focus. I said, you know what? I'm only going to focus on 2 or 3 projects. And again, remember earlier I said when I started to gain focus, that's when I started to really gain wisdom and gain even better, lots of big checks. Okay? So I went from $8,403 to months where, consistently seeing $30,000 in deposits. And now I'm at $45,000, $50,000 a month, every single month. Right? This is literally a diamond mine. All right, so let me show you how to do this, how to get to this point where you're able to go in and publish content and start to residually see income that comes in every single month. What makes this different is, number one, it's a real business. So this is not something that I came up with. It's a system that Amazon came up with. All I did was perfect the system and turned it into a system. I'm a big fan of systems. I think if you have the right system, something that's paint by numbers easy, something where you can go in and you say, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, here's my results. Do it again. Step 1, step 2, step 3, here's my results. Right? If you can have the right system, you can see an incredible amount of success. So number 1, this is a real business. Number 2, you're joining forces with a real multi-billion-dollar globally recognized brand. That's Amazon.com, right? You're tapping into a 7 billion person market. What comes along with Amazon? Credibility, right? Number 3, it's a system that's easier to make money with month after month after month. And I want to show you, where I've done a lot of things right. But, like many of you, I've also done a lot of things wrong. And after doing this for nearly 5 years, I know what works and how to get results quickly. When I got to speak to Anthony Robbins, I'll tell you, here's one of the things that I learned about successful people. This guy has made hundreds of millions of dollars. And we spoke for a couple of hours, right? And he asked me more questions than I asked him. Like, he was totally asking questions. He's asking questions about Kindle publishing. He's asking questions about Amazon. He's asking questions about internet marketing. One thing I noticed is that successful people ask questions. Doesn't matter what level of success they're at. All right? And then one of the things that I learned is he says something that really stuck with me. He says, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. Right? Success leaves clues. So I discovered this stuff the hard way. You get the cheat and you get the easy way. But 3 secrets that I discovered with this is, secret number 1, I can make more money in 1 month selling ebooks on Amazon than I can in a year selling regular products. I tried selling stuff on the internet. Amazon hands down beats everything that I've tried. I've tried probably about 40 different systems. Everything from YouTube marketing to Facebook to this, to that, to this. I've tried it. Apps and everything. Nothing beats publishing on Amazon. It's simple. It takes a small amount of money to get started. You get quick results. It's credible. You're leveraging their name. You're leveraging their marketplace. All right, 7 billion mobile devices and prospects on Earth. Secret number 2 is I personally don't have to write. This is what really, became attractive to me. I don't have to write the ebooks. And I'll show you how you can get content created without having to write it. I don't have to worry about driving traffic, so I don't have to be a master at Facebook advertising or at Google AdWords or at Pinterest ads or Twitter or Instagram or whatever the flavor of the month is now, right? Because it always changes. Amazon drives the traffic for you. Remember, again, they want you to make money, so they help you. How many people have ever saw where you buy an ebook on Amazon and they say people who bought this ebook also buy this ebook? They help you, right? I don't even have to sell anything. Amazon does the selling. That's a big plus. I hate having to write. I don't have to worry about paying for traffic. I don't like having to order, handle taking, delivery, support, refunds, etc. Amazon does it all. Step 3, it's just a 2 to 3 step process, and I only need a small amount of money to make this work. All right, with about 100, 125 bucks, you can get something that you can have an ebook created that's going to, like I said, a lot of my ebooks have been selling for the last 5 years. You can have something created that's going to make you money week after week, day after day, month after month. And I have to warn you with this really quickly here, is when you get this going, your biggest problem is, I needed to check myself into like some type of AA program, because you get addicted to checking your sales. Like I literally would check my sales 8 or 9 times a day. I'm like, yes, another sale came in. Yes, another sale came in. Because your ebooks are selling where? Are they selling just in the United States? Yes or no? They're selling globally, right? So I would literally wake up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, my wife would think I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm actually going in and log into my computer to check my sales. Because while it's 3, 4 o'clock here, in some place like China or Thailand or, the Philippines, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they're buying ebooks. Right? So it gets really addictive. Trust me. Once you start to do this, you're going to check your sales several times a day, and it's a fun process just to see money coming in. So all you need is, to be successful at this, is a little bit of research, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Next couple of slides. To find an idea, and luckily there are millions of possibilities, both fact and fiction. The other thing that you need is you need about $100 to hire someone to write the ebook for you. And this is using the 2-step process and hiring templates that I give you. If you are a writer, then that's great. I am not a writer. As a matter of fact, I failed English 101 not once but twice because I'm an overachiever. Right? How's that? You need a desire to repeat the process. So each ebook becomes another passive income stream that will continue selling for years to come without you ever having to do anything. All right? How cool is that? All right? How cool is that? Now, there's a 3-step process. Okay? Step 1 is to use the Google Keyword Planner to find a hot in-demand topic and come up with a killer title. How many people want to see that? How many people want to see how we do this? Step 1. All right? Let's see. Give me the yeses. Give me the yeses. Joshua, yes. Michael, yes. Joanne, yes. My daughter Summer just walked in, my little 8-year-old. She's like, yes, yes, yes. Say hi, Summer.
Hi.
Say hi, everyone. We have people that are literally watching
Hi,
from around the planet.
Hi,
right?
everyone.
Where do we just come from?
Thailand.
Thailand. Did you love Thailand?
Yes.
Who paid for Thailand?
My daddy.
She thinks daddy paid for it, but guess who paid for it? Amazon.com. Right? Look, they're saying hi, Summer. Sandy says hi. Kenya says hi. Lindy says hi. All right. His son, Joshua's son says hi back. All right. Hi, Summer. You are sweet, says Media Man. Ruth says hi. Awesome. You guys are making her day right now. You're making her smile. Hi, little beauty queen. I showed him your beauty pageant pictures. Wasn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right. She's blushing over here. All right. So let's jump back into this. All right. Bye-bye, baby. Love you. All right. Derek says hi. All right. The highs are coming in. So Amazon paid her favorite trip, Thailand, right? Amazon paid for this. $50,000 a month, folks. Right? When you start to make money like this, you don't just blow it, right? You do a lot of things. I have sickle cell anemia, so guess what? I give back to charity. I donate to the National Sickle Cell Anemia Association. I donate to the Children's Miracle Network. Okay. Thank you, Deanna. I invest in stocks. I invest in other businesses. I opened up 2 app companies. I have a consulting business. So you put this money into places where it can grow as well. Okay. All right, so let's get into start 1. I'm sorry if I'm giving you guys all of these lectures, but I'm just sharing what I've come across in my life, and I think it'll benefit you. This is the same stuff that I would share with my family members, and that I do share with them. So step 1, grab a pen, grab a pencil, grab something to write with, is to use the Google Keyword Planner to find a hot in-demand topic and to come up with a killer title. This is easy stuff. So here, how do you find a Google Keyword Planner? You go to Google, and you simply type in Keyword Planner. That's it. It's going to be the first or second result that comes up. Click on one of these, and then you're going to see a control panel that looks like this. They change this up from time to time, right? Google, they can never leave things as they are. But for the most part, it works the same. You're going to see an area where it says search for new keyword and ad group ideas. All right? You'll click onto that, and then here, this is where the magic happens. All right, easy. This is easy. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest things that you can do is overcomplicate something. Once I stopped becoming cynical, once I stopped being skeptical of everything, and once I learned to stop overcomplicating things, that's when I started to see an immense amount of success. Right? It's simple. So what you're going to do is in this area right here, you're going to type in your idea, your keyword, your the genre, the topic that you're considering writing an ebook around, right? So let's say, I've been studying lucid dreaming, right? So let's say if I typed in lucid dreaming here, and then you're going to select all languages and then select Google and search partners. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to fly through this because I want you guys to take note and pay attention. There's a lot to cover, and I don't want to miss anything here. So now, I type in dreams interpretation. Like I said, I've been studying lucid dreaming lately, right? So I'm interested. I'm fascinated by what dreams mean here. So I type this in and I hit get ideas. Now Google, not only will they tell me what the search volume within the last 30 days was for my main phrase, dreams interpretation, but they'll also give me similar phrases that other people are searching for. Right? And that have been searched on for the last 30 days. And they'll say for the phrase meaning of dreams, we had 18,100 searches. Dream meaning, 2,900. Dreams meaning, 2,400. And then the list goes on and on. So do you get that? So you type in your main phrase or your keyword, you hit get ideas, and Google they'll tell you how many people within the last 30 days searched for your main phrase globally, right? Because we're selling our books globally. But then they'll also say, well, here's some other phrases or keywords that are similar that people search for. And here's their average monthly searches. Does that make sense? Yes, 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 if it makes sense, so I can move on. Love Lucid Dreaming says Manu. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Good, 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 good. Yes, Terry, that's correct. Right. All right. All right, cool. Super smart group here. So now, when you're doing this, right, here's what I figured out 4 years ago. When I figured this out, there's a few points where my sales just really, I started to see like a 20% increase, a 40% increase, 100% increase, right? And this is one of those periods. When I figured this out, when I said, okay, we'll use this Google Keyword Planner, and I type in my phrase, and then when I add up all of these search volumes here, the monthly search volumes for all of these phrases combined, if I can find something that's between 10,000 to 100,000, then I have a hit. All right? If I add up all of my monthly searches for all of these phrases, and it totals between 10,000 to 100,000, then there's a good chance that that ebook is going to be a seller. And it hasn't failed me within the last 4 years, ever since I've been doing this. Right? And the reason why is because anything less than 10,000 combined, what do you think? The marketplace is just not big enough. Right? Does that make sense, Edward? Edward Bush. Okay. Anything more than 100,000, what do you think? The marketplace is just too big, right? You've got more competition. Okay, cool. All right, so you want to stay between 10,000 to 100,000. Is this good stuff? Right? You do this, you increase your chances of having a drop-dead killer in a niche market that is going to be bananas as far as sales. Now, the other thing is, remember a couple of minutes ago I told you that your titles will have a lot to do with the amount of success, right? I also use this Google Keyword Planner area to come up with some really, really hot titles. So not only do I use it to do my market research and to find out what people are searching for and what they're interested in, but I also use this area to find titles because Google is telling me these are other phrases that people are typing in. Look at this, meaning of dreams. 18,000 people typed that in. They want information on what their dreams mean. Dreams and their meanings, 590. These are awesome titles. Sometimes I add on to them like meaning of dreams, how to tell what your dreams mean. All right? Meaning of dreams, how to interpret your dreams. But there's 18,000 people that are searching for this phrase. That's like taking candy from a baby. Not that I go around taking candy from babies. But dreams and their meanings. Right? This is another one. Right? Let me show you... I'm going to show you some other examples of this as well. But first, one of the questions that I get is, why use the Google Keyword Planner to help you find titles? Well, here's why. Number one, Google literally hands you phrases that people are searching for globally. The second thing, which is even more powerful, is being able to take those phrases and rank both on Amazon and Google will dramatically boost your sales. And I want to show you two examples of what I mean here. Let's say if you're searching for a book. There's a book titled How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. It's on Amazon, right? It's an ebook. It's a Kindle book, How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. You're not aware of this. You go over to Google and you type in How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. Again, you're not aware that there's an ebook available on Amazon that covers this topic. You're just doing some research because you've got an ebook and you're trying to sell this darn thing, right? You hit search. Guess what comes up here in Google? Does anyone see anything that stands out? Well, first off is we see these listings here. And what are these listings at the top in the yellow? Smart Group, I know you folks know what these are, right? Yellow ad box, okay? Riches and niches, I like that. Okay, ads, says Ruth, absolutely. So most people, we're conditioned now, we gloss over these. We don't even pay attention to this area, right? What we do is automatically our eyes glance down towards this area. What do you see that stands out here? Again, we're not aware that there's an ebook on Amazon. But what do we see? We see an Amazon listing. So instantly that feeds our brain credibility. We're thinking Amazon, oh, there's no doubt in our mind that Amazon is great, right? The other thing, what do you notice here about this listing? Can you see it clearly? Let me know if you can see it clearly here. But what do you notice about this listing? Let's see. Oh, great answers that are coming in. Kenya says it was given 5 stars. Yes, there's a ton of things that makes this thing stand out. What else? It was given 5 stars, right? Sandy says it has reviews. Edward says it has reviews. Ratings, says Manu. Absolutely. You see this? Okay. Exact phrase, says Terry. Exact phrase. That's right. Powerful. What else? It's on Amazon.com. Number one, number two, we know that it's something that's available for sale. Do you see the price point here? $4.99. So we know that if we look for information on how to market and sell your ebook, we now know that there's something available on Amazon. We can click on this and go in and buy it. It complements the idea greatly, says Joshua. Absolutely. What else? You see this? It says in stock. 47 reviews. 47 people purchased this and they all left 5-star reviews. That speaks for volumes, right? A very good comment on this book. Right, look at the comment. The excitement of the first few chapters builds an incredible momentum, a growing belief that you, dear writer, can actually do this. Google plus Amazon equals the dynamic duo. Absolutely, Deanna. All right, so do you see that? Like, how powerful is that? That's why I love using that Google Keyword Planner, because when you title your ebooks the right way, and if you have not written down that your titles are powerful, you should do that right now. Please do that, because that's a moneymaker. If you don't take anything else away from this, take that, right? And they do the marketing for you. This is what I mean by Amazon. This is just one of the dozens of ways that Amazon drives traffic for you. Remember when I said that this is easy and not to overcomplicate it, and that Amazon wants you to make money because when they make money, you make money? This is what I mean. They do this stuff. They do the organic rankings for you, all right? They do the marketing for you, right? Let's look at another example. Let's say here's a book, How to Earn Passive Income in a Lousy Economy, right? And this is also listed on Amazon. We're not aware of it. You go to Google and you're typing in, you know, how to earn passive income in a lousy economy. Guess what happens? What do you see when you hit search? Not only do you see your Amazon listing on the first page, but you see it on the first, second, and third listing. How many SEO folks do we have in here? Like, how powerful is that? How long would that take you to do if you had to do it on your own, from your own website? I'm not talking about Amazon. How much would it cost you? Like, this would literally cost you thousands of dollars to achieve in some cases. Tiana says, in a word, wow, I like that. All right? Okay. So not only are you listed first position, first page, right, number one, but first position. Okay. Second position. Kenny says, I'm an SEO dude, search engine optimization. Kenny, so what do you think? H. Curtis says this would cost you about $3K minimum. Joshua says, I also noticed on both over 1 million hits. That's awesome, Joshua. I'm glad you pointed that out. Look at that, right? Over 1 million. Out of over 1.5 million results, your book comes up in the top 3. Okay, so you own the niche here, as Ruth just said. You folks are getting it. This is what I love, right? I love this. And again, you've got the reviews, you've got everything else. So this is why, again, using that system in regards to the Google Keyword Planner is so powerful. Now, so step one, if you have not written that down yet, is to use the Google Keyword Planner to find hot topics and to create titles. All right? Now, here's something else that I came up with. I'm just giving you guys nuggets. That's what I want to give you during this presentation. I said to Jeff, I'm going to over-deliver. I want to give you my best stuff. So the first thing was titles, right? Come up with your titles. The second thing was use the Google Keyword Planner, right? The third thing that I want to give you here, and all of these things have incrementally increased my sales. You put them all together and it's powerful. That's why I'm able to make more money than anyone that talks about Kindle publishing in our space. That's why I've been doing this longer than anyone in our space. All right, not to brag, but I've just figured out stuff that works and I continue to put them all together and share. So another thing that I came up with is what I call my title enhancers. And title enhancers are basically elements that you add to your titles that can double and triple your sales. I came up with these one week when we were going on a cruise, right? And I knew that I was going to have limited internet access. If you've ever been on a cruise, you know they charge you like a ridiculous amount of money for internet access. And I'm a cheapskate, so I don't like just blowing my money. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to test these title enhancers. And I actually put them in place the day before we left for our cruise, right? And when I got back, I saw that not only did my sales increase, but my sales had doubled and tripled in some cases just by me adding these title enhancers to my titles. So after months of testing, I found that simply adding the following elements to my titles can dramatically increase sales. How many people want to see these things? Ah, Kenya, I love that. Yes, 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 yes. Terry, yes. Patrick, yes. Says Michael. Media, yes. Me for sure. Moses, Edward, Ruth, yes. Got to see it. Deanna, Lindy, Lloyd, we do, says Eddie. All right, take out your pens. Take out something to write with because I want you to write these down. Again, these are going to increase your sales. Take a look at it. I'm going to give them to you a few at a time here. All right. Title enhancers answer. Before I tell you or give you the title enhancers, let me tell you why they work so well. They work so well because they answer the questions that your ebook buyers are asking themselves on a subconscious level. All right. If you get this, you'll understand why these things work so well. And again, this is super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It works. They answer the questions that your ebook buyers are asking themselves in their head. So let me show you a title enhancer. This is a title enhancer, how to. right? So let's say you have two titles, Stain Your Deck Like a Professional, Learn to Stain Your Deck, right? We take our title enhancer and we add it to our title. So this now becomes How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional. How to stain your deck like a professional versus learn to stain your deck. Do you see that? Do you see the difference? Now let me show you why they work so well and how they answer the questions that your prospects are asking themselves on a subconscious level in their head. Let's say you have a gentleman by the name of Johnny. And Johnny has been promising his wife that he's going to go out and stain the deck. You know, he's been talking a big game, baby. I'm going to make this thing look amazing, beautiful. We're going to have the neighborhood's best deck. Trust me. But he's been promising his wife to do this for about 8 months now, and he has yet to do it. Finally, it's a weekend. It's about 75, 80 degrees outside, so it's really nice. And his wife gives Johnny an ultimatum. She says, either you get out there this afternoon and you stain that deck, or you're going to be sleeping on the couch for the next 4 weeks. Johnny's sweating. He doesn't want to sleep on the couch, so he says, you know, how am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? He's never done it before, right? He talks a good game, but he's never done it before. So he picks up his Kindle device, his iPhone with the Kindle app, or he visits his desktop and he goes to Amazon.com and he's typing in how to stain a deck. And at the same time, he's sweating. He's asking himself, how am I going to do this? How am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? He comes across two titles, our two titles that we see here, How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional or Learn to Stain Your Deck. Ebook A here, How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional, and ebook B here, Learn to Stain Your Deck. Which one do you think is most appealing to Johnny? A, How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional, or B, Learn to Stain Your Deck? Go ahead and put an A or B into the questions box. What do you think? A or B? And I'm going to take a vote here. Jackie, A. Lily, A. Ruth, A. Lindy, A. Eddie, A. Joshua, A. Sandy, A. Media Man, A. Edward, A. Kathy, A. Rhonda, A. Michael, A. Johnny, A. Lloyd, A. Manu, A. Kevin, A. Tyler, A. Awesome, 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 awesome. You got it. You see? So do you see how simple that is again? Very simple. Becky says A. Last minute, Becky jumps in. All right? So do you see how simple that is? Again, don't overcomplicate this stuff. It makes it easy, easy, easy. All right? Here's another example of a title enhancer. Quickest way to. We always want to learn how to, right? How to do something. We always want the quickest way to do it. So 21 quickest ways to make money online versus the guide to making money on the web. Which one would you pick, one or two? I would pick one. Here's another example. Fastest way to. The fastest way to get your nursing degree or Health Quad's nursing guide. All right, here's another example. Easy ways to. Quick and easy ways to lose weight. All right, or tips to. The world's best kept tips to losing weight. So do you see how these things work and why they're so powerful? Again, simple but extremely powerful. These things have accounted for hundreds of thousands of dollars in book sales for me over the years. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that I would not have made had I not incorporated these things into my titles. So how to, quickest way to, fastest way to, easy ways to, tips to, and I have tons of others that I give you in this program as well. All right? And I just wanted to share these with you just to show you, again, how powerful this stuff works. Now, here's what I really get excited about. Right? I've been doing this stuff for years, and I still love this research process because it just, every time I find something good, it's just another passive stream of income. It's something else that makes a car payment. It's something else that helps to pay for our kids' college tuition. It's something else that helps to pay for us, you know, living debt-free. We have no debt at all. No debt. How many people would like to have that? Right? So I take these title enhancers and then I combine them. I mash them up with the subject or the keyword or the phrase or the idea that I'm considering publishing an ebook for. So in this case, my idea was garden. I want to create an ebook on gardening. Don't know what type of ebook, but I just want to see what the results are, what the numbers are. So I take my title enhancer, one of them, how to, and I mash up my keyword garden. Hit search, and then Google says for, and this is where I'm going to test you folks. Google says for your phrase, how to garden, there were 45.5 million global monthly searches conducted within the last month and 20.4 million local monthly searches. Before we get started, let me ask you, what column should we be paying attention to? This one left or this one right? Global, left, or local right? Again, I'm asking you these questions because I want to make sure that everyone gets this. My intention is to teach you to make sure that you get it. Left says Joshua, global, both. Global, global. Kathy says global. Patrick, global. Global says Jackie. Global. Everyone is saying global. I had one person that says both. That's okay, right? But no, global, because we're selling our ebooks globally. We're not confined to our city, our state, even our country, our nation, right? Our ebooks will sell globally. I have ebooks that sell in Russia, France, Spain, the UK, all up and down Europe, right? Canada, Australia. Okay, so I pay attention to this globally. Now, going back to this, Google tells us for this phrase, how to garden, there were 45.5 million global monthly searches. Now, do we want this? Is this ideal for us with 45.5 million global monthly searches? Is that within our desired search criteria? No. Too much, absolutely. You folks have been paying attention. I love it. All right. But luckily for us, they say, here's some other phrases that people have searched for within the last 30 days, right? How to make a garden, 201,000 global searches. We're not paying attention to this local column. How to design a garden, 550,000 global monthly searches. How to build a raised garden bed, 12,100 global monthly searches. How to plant a garden, 301,000 global monthly searches. Which one stands out? Which one would make the ideal ebook to go in and publish because of the numbers? And this one also stands out because of several other reasons, but because of the numbers. Which one? Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? Let's see. Oh, yes. How to build a raised garden. Says that word. 3, Kenya. 1, Patrick. 3, Sandy. 2 says Kenya. How to build a raised garden bed, number 3. So here's the thing. If you said number 3, you're absolutely right. And there's a few reasons why this is the one that we want. This is actually, so take a look at it. How to build a raised garden bed, number 1. The monthly search volume. Remember, we want to be between 10,000 and 100,000. So this fits right within our desired search criteria, 10,000 and 100,000. It's 12,100 individuals, right? The second reason why it works so well is, who else? What else? What else? What else do you think this is? Why else do you think this one would work so well? All right? Competition does not exist, Media Man. When you know the stuff that I'm sharing with you and that I share with you in this program, competition is not a word. I can't remember the only time I say the word competition is when someone asks me about competition. Other than that, I don't even consider it because no one can beat me at this stuff. It's not being cocky. It's just the results show for themselves. All right? Okay. Right. We want to stay between 10,000 and 100,000. Number 2, Lindy, it's very specific. It's a specific niche. All right? It's very targeted. How to build a raised garden bed, not just how to build a garden bed. Okay? The other thing is it's got the title enhancer, how to. So there's so many reasons why this is perfect. I actually should have kept this one to myself, so you guys don't share this with my wife. Don't tell her I gave this away. I gave away this one right here. Do you think if you've got 12,100 individuals that are searching for how to build a raised garden bed every single month, and you have an ebook on the subject on Amazon, do you think you could sell some of these ebooks with 12,100 individuals looking for that? Absolutely. Yes, you folks have it right. The yeses are coming in. Yes. Again, it's easy as pie. Don't overcomplicate it. Easy, easy, easy. The biggest thing, right, but I had to learn is to stop overcomplicating things. Stop overanalyzing everything. But what about this? But what about that? But what if this happens? Stop being a nervous Nelly, and I had to stop freaking overanalyzing things because I was getting in my own way. All right? So step 1 was to do the market research. If you have not written that down, write it down. Step 2 is after the research, create the content. Now, in my preferred order, there are 3 very simple ways to get content to sell. I've used all 3 of these, and all are very easy to do, even if you're a newbie to all of this. Okay? Number 1, get someone else to write it for you. This is my favorite option. Remember, I failed English 101, not once, but twice. So if I can do this, listen, you can do this. In all seriousness, if I can do this, you can do this. I have a friend of mine, Tom Jandula, who's dyslexic, and he kicks butt with this. He's doing about $10,000 a month with the system, and I just started teaching it to him. All right, I use this option a lot, and I've paid as little as $100 to $125 to have people write content for me. You get to own 100% of the rights to it. You can resell as long and as often as you want. You can even put your name on it or use a pen name. Right? This course gives you the only 3 sites you should use when looking to have someone write your content. Plus, I give you the exact wording to use when looking for someone. Here's the thing. I've tested dozens of freelancing and outsourcing sites, and I've come up with 3 that work like a charm. 3 that secure your money. 3 that I've always gotten amazing high quality content from. All right? And that's the other thing. When you're doing this, when you have a system that's this easy, that's this long lasting, that's really tied into a multi-billion-dollar corporation, you want to make sure that you're publishing high quality content. Build your business on the concrete, not on the sand. Does that make sense? Like where I'm at right now, even when I was just making $8,000 a month, I would have never done anything to put my system in jeopardy. So everything I put out is going to be good stuff, right? That's why I outsource the writing, because I know that my writing is not good enough. And it frees up my time. I get someone else to do what they love doing, they love writing, and they get paid for it, so it's a win-win. But I take that content, I own 100% of the rights to it, and I can resell it for as long and as often as I want. All right? I want you to understand this. With ebook publishing, with this type of publishing, you do the work once. You upload your ebook one time, okay, and it sells over and over and over and over again. One time, okay? So does everyone get that? Now, the other way to get your content created is you can speak it. Easy stuff. Speak it, then have it transcribed. You can use a speech recognition software like Dragon or the free one that you'll find on most PCs. If you have a PC, you can type in speech recognition, and you'll see where there's a program that you can use that'll help you go in and speak your ebook, your content into it, right? And then, you can have it transcribed. The third thing is, or the third option I should say, is you could write it yourself. This is not my favorite, but if you're a writer, this would be the perfect option for you. I have a friend named Andre who, this guy he cranks out. Yes, Kenya, for Macs, you can find that as well. It's actually Siri, right? So he cranks out an ebook every 3 days or so. He's a great writer. And remember, these are not long ebooks. How long do you think these have to be? All right? Put it into the questions box. How long would you guess these ebooks have to be? I just want to see what the thought process is here. All right, 25 plus, 30 pages, 40, 60, 10 pages, 20 pages, 8 to 20. I found that when I first started doing this, all right, total transparency, when I first started doing this, I thought my ebooks had to be 100 pages. Not at all. Not at all. On average, your ebooks have to be between 30 to 40 pages or so. 30 to 40 pages. Those are my best-selling ebooks. Think about it. We're totally in a rush these days, right? No one has time to really sit down. So people want to get content. They don't want to get a lot of fluff. They don't want to get a lot of filler. They want to get content. Straight to the content. They get their fix and they're gone. Does that make sense? Okay? Think about it. People want to be able to write. They want to be able to read while they're at the airport, read while they're at the bus stop, while they're at the train station, read while they're on their lunch break, right? Okay. Lindy, great question. Lindy asked, what do I charge for that size ebook? Here's the magic. That's why, Lindy, I always say there's no such thing as a dumb question. You ask that type of a question and you get the answer. So I'm going to share that with you at the end of this webinar. And you'll be amazed at this magic price point that generates me the most amount of profit. All right? Profit is what you want, not sales. Don't be fooled by people who say, I've got all these sales and then they're not keeping any of the money. I want to keep the money. So Lindy, I'm going to cover that at the end of this webinar. Any of you have questions, go in and type them now, because I'm gonna cover those as well. H. Curtis, I'll cover that in just a few moments. We're almost at the end too. So let's continue. Step 3, the last step is And this literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes to both create your Kindle Publishers account as well as add ebooks to it, because Amazon has made it easy, right? So they make this entire process free. You can create an account on Amazon to become a publisher at no cost. Why would they do that? And then it takes about 5 minutes to set up your account, and it takes about 5 minutes to upload your ebooks to that account, and then they become available for sale. Why would they allow you to become part of this system for free? To start selling your ebooks at no cost other than the commission that they take out. Because again, they need your content and they want you to make money. The more money you make, the more money they make. Okay. Now, once you publish it, your book is now published on Amazon and ready to make you money. All right. So you can see it like this, and then it's ready to make sales. It's up and running. Okay. Can you use the same publisher's account if a book is under a pen name, says Terry? Absolutely. You certainly can. As a matter of fact, everything that I publish is under a different pen name. Kids books, yes. Kids books sell really well, Deanna. Very well. All right? But everything I publish is under a different pen name. Who can tell me why? Number one is because I don't want anyone searching for my books. Imagine you get an ebook you get a couple of ebooks and you're making a couple of $1,000s, right? And then people come in and copy them. I don't want anyone copying my stuff, number one. And number two is because I like to test different niches and different genres. So I might publish an ebook on budgeting one day, and then I might publish an ebook on goal setting, a week later or 2 weeks later. And then I might publish another ebook on how to buy real estate, a couple weeks later. And if I publish them all under the same name, it makes me look like a jack of all trades, right? So I like to publish under different pen names. Right, you'll have to be a multi-topic expert media man, absolutely. So that's it. All right, simple enough. Again, this stuff is very easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Not at all, Sandy. All right. No, not at all, Robert. Not at all. I actually was a bit reserved about sharing this. No, Deanna, you don't have. Actually, that's a great question. Keep the questions coming. I'm gonna cover these. Deanna asked, did you start out with a pen name? Is this an issue with getting checks from Amazon? No, not at all. All right, so I'm going to show you that in just a minute. I'm going to talk about how that works, okay? So how many ebooks do you need to make this work? Using the system that I've created where we go in, we do the research, we come up with the titles, we write out the descriptions, and we put in that magic price point that I'm going to share with you at the end of this webinar. On average, I find that each ebook generates about $500 a month in sales per ebook. So imagine having 5, 10, or 20 ebooks all bringing in monthly income. Or if your ebook sold 200, 500, 1,000 copies, right? How many ebooks would you need? How many would you need? You do the work once, your ebook sells for months and years to come. It's residual income, pays you over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, when I first put the system together, I wanted to make sure that it was so easy that anyone can follow my step-by-step system. Remember, I told you that I'm a big fan of systems, books like the E-Myth and the 4-Hour Work Week, right? Jeff has a great question also. Jeff asked, do you have to have multiple Kindle accounts for each pen name? I'll cover that in just a minute. Awesome question, Jeff. All right, so when I first put this thing together, I put it together so that anyone can follow along. And as a test dummy, I gave it to my daughter, Maya. She was 14 years old at the time. And I said, Maya, take this program, and I want you to go in and follow the instructions and publish your own ebooks. She got it to the point where she's generating $5,000 a month publishing her own ebooks. 14 years old. No help from me. Now, the other thing is I wanted her to learn both sides. When you start to do this is a great way to bring your family, your spouse, your significant into entrepreneurship. So the other thing we had to do was when she turned 16, we had her get a job at Burger King, because I wanted her to see the side, both sides, right? I wanted her to understand. Yes, Robert, absolutely. It's updated every couple of months. So I wanted her to see the difference between being your own person and generating a passive income stream, right? And then I wanted her to see what it's like working an hour's worth of work and getting paid an hour's worth of pay. Okay? I wanted her to see that. Thank you, Deanna. Deanna says, as a dad, you rock. What do you think she prefers? Do you think she prefers publishing Kindle ebooks? Will you do the work once, your ebook sell for months and years to come, or do you think she likes going to Burger King, putting in hours worth of work, and getting only $7 for that? Absolutely. Okay, so there you go. So this is why, some of the stuff, I didn't have to share this, but I wanted to share. I feel like I've been so blessed in my freaking life that I have to give back. I'm a big believer in karma. Karma, whether you put out good karma or you put out bad karma, it's going to come back to you. I need as much good karma to come back to me as possible. So that's why I share these personal stories, the stories of my family and things like that. And what I teach my family, I feel that if I can share it with my family, then I can share it with anyone else. So if I can show my daughter, Maya, who was 14 at the time, the system, then it's good enough for me to share it with you. Does that make sense? So it's a residual income system that pays you over and over and over again, month after month. Now, what makes this thing different is that it literally grows month after month. So you saw where I was at $2,297.30 and then went to $2,873.13, then up to $4,462.53 and then $8,403.84 and then over just under $30,000 in 1 month, and now $45,000 and $50,000 is where I tend to fluctuate at. So how much money do you need to make a difference in your life? Is it an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000, an extra $2,000, right? Like an extra $2,000 that can help cover your mortgage right there. An extra $1,000. When we had the system, my wife and I, we built our dream house from the ground up here in North Carolina, right? 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, media room. We've got 2 offices in it. And it's Amazon that has allowed us to do this. Right? So how much extra? Be honest with yourself. You don't have to answer in the questions box. I don't want you to do that. But think about it. How much more, like, would an extra $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 a month change things for you? Like, would it change your life to a degree where you could put it towards your kids' future, as we're doing with our kids, so that we don't have to worry about college savings? Would you use it to pay off your mortgage? To buy a house, to buy your dream car, to buy a better house if you already have one, to pay off your bills, like to get out of debt? Like I said earlier, we have no debt at all, other than our mortgage. That's it. Would you use it to travel the globe, to donate to charities? As I said earlier, I donate to the National Sickle Cell Anemia Association and the Children's Miracle Network on a regular basis, because I know what it's like to be an individual that has an ailment, right? And I know what it's like to be someone who needs help from other people. So there's so many different things that you can do with this stuff. Listen to me if you will or not, but don't take it and just blow it on material things. I like to tell my kids, I said that the trinkets will get lost. The material stuff will fade away. All right? You won't remember it 10, 20 years from now, but the memories will last forever. All right, so use this stuff for good, right? Use it for good. It's a really cool system, and what I really like is that you can get the people that are close to you involved. So let me ask you a question here. Within the past hour, would you say that it's been time well spent? And be honest with me, because this is where I really get benefit, right? I need to make sure that I'm promising and delivering. I told Jeff that I would give you folks some really great stuff. I want to make sure that I delivered on that. All right, so do you think it's good? And if you can, just go in and type, what do you think? What did you think? What did you think about this? All right, I want to use this in my next presentation maybe, or on my website. Leave me a testimonial and I'll put it somewhere with your name. All right, so I can give you some recognition as well. And if you have a website, put your website up there too, and I'll give you some recognition. As a matter of fact, I like to post my testimonials on Facebook just to encourage other people, right? We all need encouragement. Now, obviously, we can't cover everything you need in a single presentation. So what I've done is, because Jeff asked me to, we've known each other for a while, I put together a special offer so you can get everything that you need to know. And if you act quick enough, I'm actually going to give you a very special deal at this. It's not something that I do regularly. I'd rather spend my time playing with my children. Today I went and picked my daughter Maya up from school, and I surprised her. I said, let's go anywhere you want. We'll go anywhere you want to go eat. And we've got some gourmet pizza place around here where they charge like $15 for a personal pan-sized pizza. And we went and got 2 really cool pizzas. I spent like 2 hours just hanging out, chilling out with her. So is it okay if I help you and I share what I know? I don't normally do this, but again, Jeff has been trying to get me to come in and present this stuff for like the last 4 months, and I finally got a chance to do it. We just got back from Thailand. I said, give me a week and a half to recoup, and then I'll put something together and I'll share it with you folks. Now, one of the things that I know, I'm big into personal development. I'm big into learning. I like to go to events. I like to watch presentations. But I'm also human, and I know that old habits die hard, right? We get excited about something, we get motivated, and then as soon as we step away from our computer or as soon as the event is over, what happens? Life takes over and we go back into our routine. It's just how we are, right? Thank you for that testimonial, Joshua. I love it. All right? Love it, Deanna. Thank you. Distraction takeover, says someone. I love it. That's what happens. So I created this special offer where you actually get this program. It's a physical program. Everything I do is intentional because I want to make sure that you get 100% guaranteed results. I'm going to make money regardless, so I don't need the money. I'm not a fool either. I'll take the money, but I don't need the money, right? So my intention is to always study why people do things. So I put together this physical course. I said if I give it to you in a physical format, it's not going to get buried on your hard drive. You're going to see it in your office. You're going to see it in your home every single day, and that's going to prompt you to take action. Does that make sense? Right? A physical reminder will prompt you to take action. Okay? And it works. I've got students right now. We have a Facebook group. I'm going to share that with you in a minute. 600 people in this Facebook group. All right? Jeff is in the Facebook group. I'm sharing this stuff with him and his kids and his wife as well. And we've got people that are just starting, just like you will be in just a moment, that are making a couple of $100 a month. And then we've got people that are making thousands of dollars a month. And then we've got people that are making tens of thousands of dollars a month. One of the students that I love the most, right? He's a guy, and I can say that I love this guy. He's 60. I love him because of his determination. He's 60-something years old, right? His name is Darren DeVry, and he's from Perth, Australia, and he's doing $20,000 a month using this system. I love his determination. I love the fact that he comes into our Facebook group and asks questions, and that he follows it. So what you'll get with this program is you'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. This actually covers everything, like setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do, right, so you don't make the mistakes. It also covers, you'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. In this module, I go over finding the right niche and the readers that will buy. So niches that sell and readers that will buy. These are videos, so you actually get to look over my shoulder and see what I do, why I do it, when I do it, and then the results that you get. All right? And then the next module is titled The Buyer Magnet, and this is a $2,997 value. You know, this right here, really, this is one of the most crucial modules here because it covers the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. This is stuff like the cover. We go into really great detail on how to structure your covers and how to get your covers done by someone else and how to pay as little as $5 for a cover. $5 for a cover. Again, don't overcomplicate the process. I talk about pricing. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you the price point that sells and makes me the most profit. I think it was Lindsay who asked that. And I'm going to cover all of the other questions too. In this module, I cover descriptions. I cover reviews, right? Oh, I want to share with you in just a few seconds too what I call your first, second, and third line of defense. So get your pens ready. All right. And then in the next module, I cover the KDP cash extraction. And in this module, I give you all the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. The total value of everything right here is $8,991. And I know that looks a little bit cheesy, but I just wanted to really show you. I think that if you put things in perspective for people, then they really get it. All right, so that's where we're at. Now, I had two choices with this. I could really go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but it wouldn't incentivize me to really stack the value on for you. But, you know, for this event only, I went really inexpensive. I did something that I never do, and I hardly ever do this presentation because, again, my time is more valuable than anything. My family means more to me than, trying to sell something. The second option that I had was, and this one requires a little bit higher of an investment, but in exchange, I'm able to devote more resources to guarantee you success. I like to make sure that every single student is successful at this. I was speaking to 3 of my students this morning. One that's over on the West Coast, one that's in Atlanta, and then I think the other one, I have no clue where the other one is at, but we were all texting, right, this morning. Here's a testimonial from the guy had just said, I'm just tickled to death by this gentleman. He's 65 years old and he's kicking butt with this. He sent me this testimony. He says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow a Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. Again, Perth, Australia. You can do this no matter where you're at. You can be in the U.S., you can be in Australia, Canada, the U.K., Mexico. I've got students, Russia, France, Germany, Africa, Italy, India, everywhere. All right, Japan. So again, what you'll get is you'll get the setup. That's at $997 value. In this module, I talk about setting up your account, how to do things so that you get results quickly, right? Because we don't want to wait around with this, and how not to get banned. So how not to make newbie mistakes. There's so much that you can screw up when you're trying to do this on your own. So I cover all of that as well. You'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. And in this module, I show you how to, the best thing that you can do is right out the gate is find readers and niches that actually sell, okay, so that you're not twiddling your thumbs. Like, I like to get right to making money. I remember listening to Gary Halbert, and he says, do the things that are going to make you the most amount of money the quickest. And that's what I teach you in this module, how to find those niches. You'll also get the Buyer Magnet module, which is the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We cover covers, pricing, descriptions, reviews. I also give you the KDP Cash Extraction module, where I cover the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. And in these videos, you get to see why I do things. You get to look over my shoulders. You'll see why I do things, when I do things, the results I get, right, and the amount of money that it makes. So the total value, $8,991. Now, I've got some cool bonuses that I threw in here as well. I was racking my brain trying to come up with some bonuses for you folks that will really, really stack on the value. All right, so bonus number 1 is the Google Kindle Crunch. Remember where I showed with you how getting your books listed in Google can really allow you to use the power of not only Amazon but also Google to get your books listed on the first page, first position, second position, third position? Well, this alone accounts for about 30% of where my sales come from. 30%, that's huge. So out of $30,000, let's say $45,000, right, was what I did this past month. 15,000 of that came from just me being able to get my books listed in Google the right way. So that's what this module shows you here. It's a $1,997 value, and this bonus is for the first 10. I'm going to have to limit it to the first 10 people only. I know it says 20, but I must have typed that in. 10 people only, all right? Because I just don't want to share that with everyone. The other thing is bonus number 2, money multiplicity. I got 20 on this one too. 10 people here too. Money multiplicity. How to publish the same content to the Barnes & Noble's Nook and Press platform as well as the Apple iBookstore. So you'll be able to take the same ebooks that you publish to Amazon's Kindle platform and then also double that exposure by publishing those same ebooks to the Barnes & Noble's Nook Press platform and Apple's iBookstore. All right, so you triple your exposure in a sense. This is a $997 value, and again, I can only limit this to the first 10 people. I made a typo here. That's not 20, just the first 10. This is the entire package. Your order will ship out first thing tomorrow morning. We ship out globally, so no matter what country you are in on the planet, we will ship this out first thing tomorrow morning. If you order, ship out at 6 a.m. That's when. And if all this did was, we've been having a pretty cool conversation. I really like this audience, right? So I want to ask you another question before we get into Q&A. I'm going to answer every single question that you have. So please start typing in your questions right now. But if all this did was, is it finally gave you, a way to generate a consistent, hands-free, passive income every month, would it be worth it? Like for me, this was the game changer because I had so many other things that were distractions. I wasn't making money on some businesses, and some I was just making a couple $100, and it was just really, you know, my wife's laughing at me, my family members are saying, get a real job. This totally changed things for me because it allowed me to create a consistent, hands-free passive income every single month. So if all this system did was to allow you to create a consistent hands-free passive income every month, would it be worth it? Just type yes into the questions box. I really want to see, and be honest with me here. I've been totally transparent, totally honest with you on everything here. I want you to be honest with me as well. Would that change things for you, and would it be worth it if it allowed that? For sure, yes, 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 absolutely, definitely worth it, yes. All right. So the second question I want to ask you is, and again, it's good to be honest with yourself when you're answering. If it gave you the kick in the butt to finally get you moving and making money, would it be worth it? This was the biggie for me too, right? To be able to finally get something that was making money, would it be worth it? The third thing is, if it gave you 2 to 3 ebooks that each brought in $500 per month to pay a bill or save, would it be worth it? If it gave you 2 to 3 ebooks that each brought in $500 a month, so $1,000 to $1,500 a month, would it be worth it? I think most people sensibly said yes there. And if you got to a point where, like my student Darren Divide, a 65-year-old gentleman from Australia, you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? If you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? I actually just joined right before we left for Thailand, I joined a $5,000 a month coaching program. All right? Because I understand the value of investing in myself. And at the amount of money that I'm making now, I can afford that. So if you paid $20,000, I'm sorry, if you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? Then every sale after that month is pure profit, right? Absolutely. All right? So you can see why it's a good deal at $5,000. And typically, when I do this presentation, I sell it for $2,000 to the general public, right? But because you're at this event, you're watching, you're part of, you know, this group of special folks, you can get started right now for less than you think by going to www.kcf2.com/start for just $9.97 paid in full, or $549 now, then one payment of $549. All right, and what I want to do is I want to have a session where we answer every single question. All right, and let me continue. Here's the URL. I've got some really cool bonuses that I want to give you. I didn't stop with the bonuses. Here's some extra bonuses that I'm throwing in. Now, these I can only give to the first 5 people. And this is your actual own virtual assistant. This person will help you to research topics, and you can go in and place your order while I'm talking because I want you to be part of this first 5. I don't expect everyone to get in on this, but this is truly a value that if you're serious about doing this, you want to get this bonus. So you'll get your own virtual assistant that will help you research topics, come up with title ideas, write out your descriptions, help communicate with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working on some of your other businesses. Okay? I'm going to type this URL into the chat box because a lot of folks are asking me, and I see a lot of people are trying to get in actually, right? So here it is. kcf2.com/start, and I still have even more bonuses that I want to give you, but you want to go in and do this right now. So I just entered the URL so you can go in and get started. But this bonus is for the first 500 people only because five people. I said 500. Wow, 5 people because it cost me money. This actually, you're going to get this person for 40 hours to help you with this whole entire setup. All right, this is a $600 value, so I actually have to pay that out of my pocket. All right, so here's what I want to do. Because I want to make sure that the first 5 get this bonus, as you go in and place your order, put your name into the questions box and let me know that you're on board. So you can put something like Valerie just ordered, Michael just ordered, all right? So I can go in and say, okay, these are the first 5 and these are the first 10 that will get the other bonuses. So what you'll get with this system is you'll get the setup, a $997 value, setting up your account, and we've got a lot of people that are placing their orders already. I get a notification on my phone as they come in, so that's awesome. Right? Michael just says, I am in. Good to have you in, Michael. Great. Patrick says, I am N. Kathy is N. All right. So that means we have a few more of those bonuses. Go in and place your order now. So what you'll get is you'll get the setup, a $997 value. Setting up your account is what I cover in this module, how to get started quickly and what not to do so you don't make all of those newbie mistakes, right? You don't make all of those beginner mistakes. This is the most frustrating part, when you go in and make mistakes, when you could have avoided that just by following this system. You'll get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. In this module, you'll learn how to find the right niche and readers, niches that sell and readers that buy, right? You'll get the Buyer Magnet module, which is a $2,997 value. And in this module, you get the critical must-have elements that will make your ebooks sell, all right? We talk about covers, pricing, descriptions, and reviews, all right? You know what? And at the end of this webinar, remind me to share something with you, all right? But remind me to cover the top 3 lines of defense. If you can remember that, the 3 lines of defense, this is something that you're going to want to write down, okay? Just remember that so I can cover that. So you'll also get the KDP Cash Extraction module. And in this module, I cover, secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will, all right? How to make more money than most people ever will, right? Just because you know stuff that the average individual does not know, right? And you're going to crush it with this module right here. You'll also get bonus number 1 if you're within the first 10. I said first 20, but it has to be within the first 10 because these are just modules that I don't want everyone getting. So bonus number 1 is the Google Kindle Crunch, which shows you how to get your ebooks also listed not only on Google, but on Amazon as well, so that you can increase those sales big time. Remember, I showed you like 30% of my sales come from those ebooks that are listed on Google. So with me being at that $45,000 to $50,000 a month level, that's like $15,000 that this bonus right here accounts for. And this is a $2,000 value, so you're going to learn how to get that as well, and how to do that, and how to accomplish getting your books listed in Google. You'll also get the second bonus, which is the Money Multiplicity bonus. This bonus will show you how to use the same content that you're going to be uploading to Amazon's KDP Kindle Direct Publishing platform, and also upload it to Barnes & Noble's Nook, as well as the Apple iBookstore, okay? And then bonus number 3, you'll get your own virtual assistant if you're one of the top 5. Now, here's what I want to do. We have 5 people that are in already, all right? So if you're still trying to get in, just put your name into the questions box really quickly. All right, Michael is in, Jason is in. Yes, Jeff, it does include sources where to hire writers. Okay, so go ahead, put your name into the questions box if you're still looking to place an order, if you're in the process of placing it right now, because that will let me know if I should. All right, so we've got a ton of people that are actually in the process of placing their order. So what I'm going to do is, for this virtual assistant, I'm going to increase it to 5 more. So that'll be, if you're in the first 10, you'll get all of these bonuses here. All right? So that means that we have about 4 more people that I can allow in. Okay, so you can get in now for just $997 paid in full, or $549 now, and then one payment of $549. So I'm going to put the URL into the chat box here. And you can click onto that link, and that will take you straight to the order page so that you can get in. And once you get in, put your name in. Rhonda says she's in. That was quick, Rhonda. All right. Kathy says it's already done. All right, good to have you in, Kathy. Right, use the fast action takers. You know, Jeff told me, he says, I have a very serious group of individuals that are serious about making money. All right. And he was 100% on the money with that. All right. So now let's talk about, speaking of making money, disposable income. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, someone who I've studied a lot over the years, he says, you know, poor people spend money on liabilities. Rich people spend money on assets. Think about that. Poor people spend money on liabilities. Rich people spend money on assets. And he said, you can make money or excuses, but you can't have both. Money is literally a tool. It's a tool to get you, you know, to make life a bit easier. It's a tool to get you to a point where people are treating you differently. Remember I said earlier, I showed you guys I said when you start to fly first class, people treat you differently. And where I showed you how the captain invited my daughter Summer and my son Tyler into the cockpit. Like they never did that before when we were flying coach. Now all of a sudden you get an American Express Platinum, you get an American Express Black card, and people treat you totally different. That's what this system allows you to do. It allows you to level up, all right, in your income level. All right, so again, you can go to kcf2.com/start. You can get in right now. We've got people that are still coming in, which is pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited about working with this new group of students here. So, you have two choices at this point. The first option is you can do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Okay, or you can pony up this small, tiny investment today compared to all of the value that you'll receive in return and just give it a shot. Like, think about that. If it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back and you'll get it. Okay? Ask for your money back and you'll get it. So my crazy guarantee, 3 parts to this guarantee. Again, I wanted to make sure that everyone who follows this system, everyone that's watching this has no excuse not to get in. So I created this crazy 3-part guarantee. The first part is research. If you can't find a hot topic to create your first ebook around, I will personally help you get started. Okay, I will personally help you get started. The second part to my guarantee is outsourcing. If you can't find someone to write your ebooks for you, I will give you access to one of my best writers who will write your first ebook for under $100. I want to see you succeed at this. All right. The third part to my crazy guarantee is the actual sales. If after 60 days you're not making at least $500 per ebook, okay, I will have one of my top coaches jump on a call for you to help kickstart your sales. And then lastly, I've got my 30-day money-back guarantee, where when you sign up today, if you don't like it for any reason, even if it's 29 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes from now, just let me know and we'll give you your money back. Okay? So here's the tale of two people. We've got, the individual Timid Tommy. And then we've got Brave Bob. Timid Tommy is the individual that I used to be. Again, I was skeptical of everything, cynical of everything, doubtful of everything, right? I didn't believe that people could make these amounts of money, and that number two, they could so easily make them. I overcomplicated everything. How many times have you heard me say that during this webinar? And I think that once you get past that hurdle, once you get past the hurdle of overcomplicating things, once you get past the hurdle of just learning to believe a little bit more and have a little bit more confidence, that's when things change for you. Timid Tommy is the guy that always sees something wrong in something. He always doubts something. So as a result, he never tends to have any true success. Everyone else around him seems to be able to get it, but he doesn't. Then you've got a guy like Brave Bob who just can't seem to do no wrong. It's like everything he touches turns to gold. He has that Midas touch, right? Because he learned to just have a little bit more faith and to believe in yourself. Once you learn that, once you get the confidence up, all right, your confidence will totally change things for you. Confidence is a game changer. And I talk about that not only in this program, but with everything else that I do when we interact with one another, because that's big. I want you to get that. So you can get in now, kcf2.com/start. I've got, let's see who else are in here. Joanne, I hope I got that right. Joanne, spelled a little bit differently, says she just ordered. Welcome. Oh, we're in. Eddie and Tony. Good to have you in. Eddie and Tony, awesome. I'm going to show you guys how to join a Facebook group as well, right? Because I want you in a Facebook group. Once you're going to get an email notice, and check that email because it'll show you how to join a Facebook group. Do that ASAP because I want you to start to get in and get acclimated to the system and just come in and say hi. All right. So let me show you what to do next. You're going to go to kcf2.com/start. And at this point, we have 3 more slots that I can make available. And then once those 3 join, and that's it. All right. We're maxing this out at 10. Maxing it out at 10. All right. kcf2.com/start. And then once you hit that page, this is what the order form is going to look like. It says, yes, Ty, I want to get started with Kindle Cashflow now. And here's everything that you'll get, all of the bonuses, okay? And then you'll fill out your first name here, last name, your primary email address. You'll put your best phone number, your street address, if you've got like an apartment number or something like that, you can put that there. If you have a, well, not if you, but you'll put your city and your state here, your postal code, and then your country. Speaking of country, you can do this no matter what country you live in. Amazon has made this available to literally everyone on the planet. We have folks that are, as you saw, we have my student there in DeVry that's doing really well with this, right? But we also have folks that are in the UK, Spain, Italy, France, with China, Japan, okay? Just everywhere. So you'll fill that out, and then you'll select your card type here, card number, expiration date, and then you hit submit, right? And you'll get this course shipped out to you. If you're in the US, it usually takes about 5 business days, and then if you're outside of the US, it takes about a week. And we ship everywhere. We ship globally. So again, what you'll get is you'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. This talks about setting up your account and how to do it the right way. All right, how to set up your payment so that even if you're using a pen name or multiple pen names, the checks and the deposits still get made to you. Amazon allows you to do that. Amazon allows you to have multiple pen names, right? It shows you how to get started quickly so that you're not waiting around months and months and months to make money with this, right? I love getting quick results. I'll be honest with you. Since we're being honest on this webinar, I'll be honest with you. I love being able to make money quickly. It shows you what not to do, so you don't get this thing to the point where you're making money and then you jeopardize it, right? So, and then you'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, okay? In this module, you'll learn how to find the right niche and readers that sell, niches that sell, and readers that buy, okay? That buy, okay? Let's see, we've got someone else that just came in as well. Who is it? Lily is in. Lily, okay, awesome, awesome. Good to have you in, Lily. All right, so that means we have just 2 slots left, just 2 slots left. If you're not in, get in now. The buyer magnet module, you'll also get this, okay? And then with this one, this is a $2,997 value. This covers the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, pricing, descriptions, the reviews, okay? All of the critical stuff that make you sell, that make your ebook sell. Remind me again to cover the 3 lines of defense, all right, when we go into the Q&A, because that's really important. I want you guys to know this. We also cover the KDP Cash Extraction module, and in this module, this is a $3,500 value. You'll learn the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. All right, so you'll learn how to make more money than most people ever will. All right, then you'll also get those bonuses. You'll get the Google Kindle Crunch bonus, right, which will show you how to get your ebooks not only listed on Amazon, but also how to partner with Google to get them listed on Google and to start using their massive reach, okay, their massive reach to be able to go in and make mega sales. Again, I told you that 30% of my sales comes from just being properly listed in Google. This increased my sales big time, so that's a $2,000 value. The second bonus that you're going to get, again, if you're in the top 10, so Lily and everyone else that are already in, you'll get these bonuses as well. You'll get the Money Multiplicity bonus, which shows you how to triple your ebooks exposure by taking the same content that you're publishing to the Barnes & Noble's Nook platform, okay, and also publish that content to the Apple iBookstore and the Barnes & Noble's Nook platform. Okay, and then you'll get bonus number 3, which is one of, I'm just tickled to death about this bonus because it's something that I actually set this up with a cool company that does a lot of my virtual assistant stuff, and I've been able to get a cool deal where I'm paying for your own virtual assistant. So you get to get a young lady or a gentleman that will help you put this all together. You get to use them for 40 hours. This is actually costing me $600, right? But it's one of the bonuses. Again, I wanted to really stack the value on and do something that no one else has ever done. So the total value of this is $12,585, all right, with all of the bonuses. The other thing that you're going to get is you'll get access to our private Facebook group. And if you've already placed your order, right, check your email. You should be getting an email maybe about 10-15 minutes after you've placed your order. And that email is going to give you some 1, 2, 3 instructions on what you should be doing while you wait for the program to arrive. And it's going to show you how to go in and request access to the Facebook group. Okay, this group is crucial. Get in here, look around, ask questions. We've got people that are brand new, that are just starting out just as you are. We also have people that are just seeing a tremendous amount of success. We have 600 people that are in this group. Young, old, all nationalities, all religious types, geographically from all parts of the world, and we're all helping each other. It's one big family. Everyone wants to see each other successful on this thing. All right, so again, you can get started now by going to kcf2.com. This might be the last time I have to say that because we just have 2 more slots available. And let me just put those into that link into the chat box once again. And after this slot, these 2 slots are taken. That is it. We will close down this webinar. But I want to share some stuff with you. And I definitely want to have the Q&A session because we still have a ton of people that are holding on. If you're still holding on, congratulate yourself because you're serious about learning. But this Facebook group, remember when I shared you, the photo with me and Tony Robbins and my wife and Tony Robbins, his wife Sage, right? So again, one of the things that he said was, if you want to be successful, follow someone who's already successful at what it is that you wish to be successful at and model what they're doing. So part of the reason why our students do so well at this is because of this Facebook group. It's a private group where only purchasers of this program get access, okay? And you get to come in here and you get to see how successful people think. You get to ask questions. You get all of the updates. You get to share your ideas. You get to brainstorm on ideas with other people, other group members. And most importantly, you get help. When I would go out back in the days and buy programs and courses, I hated the fact that it seemed like when I bought a program, I was left alone to defend for myself. We never want our students to feel that way. I never want you to feel that way. So I want you to be able to reach out to me by Skype, by email. Send me a text if you have to. Reach out to me on Facebook, okay, to get the help that you need because that's the only way you're going to grow. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that there's no such thing as a dumb question, all right? The other thing is, listen, if you didn't sign up immediately, there's got to be just a few reasons why. Reason number 1 is you don't think you can come up with ebook ideas that can sell. And I cover that in my guarantee. There's millions of ideas every single day. All right, I come up with new ideas, and I'm always blown away by how easy this stuff is. My students, you'll see, when you join a Facebook group, how many ideas people come up with and how successful they are at this. Oh, we just had one more. We had Miguel. Miguel just signed up. Miguel says, welcome, I'm in. Thank you, Miguel. All right, so Patrick, you'll get access to the Facebook group in that email. All right, so actually, Patrick, let me show you the Facebook group. Hold on. Who wants to see the Facebook group here? I'll pull it up really quickly. So let me just cover these reasons really quickly, then I'll show you that. So if you didn't sign up immediately, you don't think you can come up with ebook ideas that sell. And this is the easiest part. Again, don't overcomplicate this. This is the simplest part here. The second reason is you're nervous about putting it all together in place. That's normal. It's like riding a bike. The first time you ride a bike, you're nervous Nilly, right? I was nervous as heck when I first started this presentation earlier. I hope you folks weren't able to tell, and I hope I was able to deliver some good content for you because that was my goal. But I had to get past. I had to not focus on nervousness if I was going to give good value to you, right? So that's not a valid reason, being nervous, right? Get that out of your head. Okay, we have one more slot left. We just got Jeffrey that signed up. Jeffrey Elrod, I think it is. Jeffrey, come into the group and say hi. Come into the questions box and say hi. All right? Thank you for signing up. The third reason is if you didn't sign up immediately, we have one more slot left, folks, and I can't let anyone else in once we hit this number 10 person. So is it going to be you that's number 10, or is it going to be someone else? Don't let someone else get your 10th spot. I am absolutely sorry about that, but I cannot let any more than 10 people in. All right. The third reason why you didn't sign up yet is because you might think it's too expensive. Well, it's too expensive not to sign up. Think about it. Like, had I not discovered this, my life would not have changed to the point where I'm able to take my family on these amazing vacations. I'm able to live this debt-free life, right? Dave Ramsey would be proud of me right now. How many people are familiar with Dave Ramsey? Say I, as Tony Robbins would say, right? Had I not taken the gamble and started this thing, I would have not have been able to totally have my children's college savings in place, right? Got two 17-year-olds going to college this year. It's a piece of cake. When most parents are sweating about this, we're not sweating about it because it's handled already. Right? Or you think it's too expensive. Not investing in yourself is what's even more expensive. As I shared with you a couple of minutes ago, right before we went to Thailand, right? And Thailand is the most beautiful place. You have to see it. You have to go there if you haven't been there. My wife and I, we're thinking about going there and living there for about 6 months to a year next year. I just signed up for a $5,000 a month coaching program. $5,000 a month. Why would I do that? Because I see the value in what I'm going to learn and the investment. I'm going to make more money by joining this program that I just signed up for than I would had I invested that money into the stock market. Okay? So you have to get to that point where you get past the I don't have it or it's too expensive. $30,000 in sales in 1 month, and this is just a year after me doing this. Like, there's nothing special about me. You probably hear I've got this terrible little accent going on. That's because I was born in the Northeast and just born around. I've got a really eclectic sound going on here, right? But listen, I personally can't write an ebook to save my life. I failed English 101 not once but twice in school. I spent nearly 5 years of trial and error and thousands discovering the secrets that I'm going to give you today for this small one-time intelligent investment. You can spend countless hours doing it the hard way, or you can get the system and do it the right way. All right? So we're coming to a close. I'm gonna show you guys the Facebook group. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna cover the 3 lines of defense, and I'm going to answer every single question that you have as well. I promised you that, and I'm a man of my word. Even if we have to stay here for another hour, I'm gonna cover all of that. But I want to give that last person a chance to go in and get in right now. So you can save your spot now for just $9.97 paid in full, or $5.49 now, and then one payment of $5.49. And I will put that URL into the chat box and make it easy for you so you can just click onto it. And there you go. All right. So you'll get everything listed here. The setup, which is a $997 value, that covers setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so you don't get banned. You'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value, where we talk about finding the right niche in readers, niches that sell and readers that buy. You'll get the Buyer Magnet module, which is a $2,997 value. And in this module, I cover what I call one of the most critical steps, and that is, having all of the must-have elements in place. These are the elements that will make your ebook sell: the covers, the pricing, the titles, the descriptions, the reviews. You also get the KDP Cast extraction module, right? A $3,500 value. And in this module, I cover the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform, okay? And how to make more money than most people ever will. And, Jeff, are you still there? I want to bring Jeff back on really quickly. Let's see, he might be muted out if he is. Okay, I think Jeff is probably, I know he was having some mic issues earlier. But Jeff, if you're still there, come back on, because I'd like to get some. All right, so you'll also get the bonuses, right? We've got one more slot available. You get bonus number 1, bonus number 2, bonus number 3, your own virtual assistant for 40 hours. You'll get the Money Multiplicity bonus, which shows you how to triple your ebooks exposure by also making it available on the Barnes & Noble's Nook platform, as well as Apple's iBookstore. And then you'll get the Google Kindle Crunch bonus as well, which shows you how to get your ebooks listed in Google. All right. The total value of everything here is $12,585. And again, kcf2.com/start is where you get in. first 10 people I change this will get your own virtual assistant. All right? This person can help you with researching your topics, coming up with title ideas, writing out descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of working on in some of your other businesses. You'll get this person for 40 hours. It's a $600 value. And because this bonus is, it costs me money, again, I can only give it to the first 10 people. All right? This is the entire program. You'll get everything shipped right out to you. Okay? No matter where you are, we ship globally. And you can get started right now for $997 paid in full, or 2 payments of $549, 1 payment now and 1 later. Now let me just get out of this, and I want to show you something really quickly. Let me go to the Facebook group. Here's our trip to Thailand. This is pretty cool, right? Check out some of the things that we did. Here's my daughter Summer here, and this was just awesome, right? Look at this is what Thailand looks like. It looks like New York a little bit to me. And I'm going to show you the Facebook group in a moment too, but I just want to share this with you really quickly as well. How many people want to see some cool Thailand photos? Really quickly. Just give me a yes. Lloyd says I'm in. Signed up. All right. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Terry, what do you want to see? Okay, awesome. So let's see. Thailand at night. This was from our hotel, right? My daughter Summer. She's hanging out with some monks. Look at this guy in the background. Look at that pose. This is my son Tyler here. Right? They learned like how to talk in Thai and things like that. Like you could say Sawadee Cap. I think Sawadee Cap means hi or hello, and Kapum Ka. Sawadee Cap means thank you, and Kapum Ka means hi, I think it is. All right, my daughter Maya. Okay, that's me hanging out right there. One of the temples. Here we are taking a picture in the temple. All right, cool stuff, right? Like this looked really cool right here. I really love this. All right, here I am with one of the monks. I'm looking at him like, hey, who are you? And he's looking at me like, hey, who are you? All right, here's how they serve their Happy Meals in Thailand. How cool is this? Like this is the stuff that doing this Amazon Kindle publishing stuff allows you to do. This is the stuff right here. All right, this is what their Happy Meals package like. They've got McDonald's like almost everywhere. The other thing I found that was fascinating is their McDonald's sells a variety of desserts and drink types. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, let's see what else do we got. Check that out. That's their McDonald's. They've got like veggie burgers and things like that over there. That's it. I just took pictures of some really weird stuff. Let me show you something else here. Let's see. Oh, this is the floating market here. Here you get to go in. This is really cool because you get in a little boat. It's got a motor on the back, and here on both sides there's just vendors that are selling stuff. So we got some cool paintings. We got all types of cool stuff. You just drive around this floating market. That's what they call it. All right. Isn't that cool? They wanted to take pictures everywhere we went because my son is like 6'5", and everyone there is much shorter. This driver we had, this was our driver. He drove us around for the entire 2 weeks. Awesome, awesome guy with an awesome attitude. Attitude is everything in life, right? All right, here we are at one of the temples too. That's our driver right there. Here's some of their candy bars. All right. Some food here. Here we are. We're just having a ball. I'm gonna go out of this real quick and just want to show you some other pictures. Some of the places that we stayed at are really cool. Let me show you some of these places here. Here's some of the food that we had too, right? Like check out some of the vendors here. That's different, all right? But let me show you some of the places that we stayed at here. Oh, this is a pretty cool. We stayed at this hotel here. It's called the Art Ma, right? And they've got an infinity pool on the rooftop. Here I am, working, publishing Kindle books, right, and getting paid. How many people would like to do that? Making money from Chiang Mai. That was my post here, right? How many people would like to do that? Isn't that cool? Like you're on vacation and you're making money. Like honestly, be honest with yourself. Like how many people like to be able to take a working vacation and I'm still making tons of money here while I'm on vacation, while I'm watching my children here in the pool. All right? Cool stuff, right? Cool stuff. This is something that we saw. Oh, here's a good friend of mine, Tom Sweetman here. We had met him. He's actually out in Chiang Mai. We met him out for lunch, right? Took us to some really cool places. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see. All right. So we've got one more spot. If you're not in, then you want to get in right now. And I'm going to show you the Facebook group. Let me show that to you really quickly. So, oh, here we are. We got to watch Bret Michaels. How many people are familiar with the rock band, right? Bret Michaels here. So we got to check him out. Pretty cool. Good stuff. All right. So, let's see. I mean, look at, here's one of my business partners, Tom Jandula here. We are in, I think we're in the Caribbean somewhere. So this is just the lifestyle that we get. Here we are, and I think we're in Turks and Caicos here, my wife and I. I mean, think about this. Like, it's just a beautiful thing. Here we are again, Puerto Rico, renewing our vows. We get to travel literally all around the globe. Right, here I am with some really famous people, James Malinchak, right, from the show Secret Millionaire, right? This guy right here is a multi, like 100 millionaire, right? And just hanging out. When you get money, people change, or the circumstances change. Here I am on an expert panel, right, with a bunch of millionaires: Matt Basak, James Malinchak, Kurt Christensen, Kevin Nations, right? You guys know some of those folks, right? Really famous, really wealthy people. James Malinchak is awesome, says Deanna. All right. Kristen, good to have you. All right. Kristen is in. All right. So that was it. We reached our 10. If you didn't get in and you still wanted to get in, you know, I'm going to give you a chance to get in. And if you get in by the time I close this webinar out, all right, that's it. You'll get to get in. Okay. So again, some really cool things. I wish I could show you. Here's some more really wealthy folks here. David Fry, Joe Peterson, right? Eric Graham. There's me. Okay, so I mean, this, man, like how many people here we are at, I mean, one of my best friends, Brian Anderson here. We're at our daughter's cheer competitions. Like, life is just so much fun. Here we are on a cruise with a bunch of our good friends here. See, like, I mean, like, how cool is this? Like, here we are doing some other cool stuff here. We were in, I'm not even sure where we're at here. I want to say Belize, maybe. All right? Here we are with some more of our good friends here. This was another cruise. So we cruise maybe about 4 times a year. But then we're flying out to different countries. Okay? Me and this lady, we started a company together. Her husband, Tom, we started an app company together. Okay? Here's another one of my partners here. Okay? Here's another one of my partners in a different business. So once you start to generate money with this stuff, you can take it and apply it to other businesses. Here I am at a white party with some of my other friends. This is another cruise here. Davin Michaels. How many people know Davin Michaels or Tom Bill? Right? This guy right here made $100 million off a software company. Right? So, I mean, think about it. It puts you in a totally different league once you start to make money with this thing. You get different exposure. So it's pretty cool. All right? So, just the lifestyle. Just the lifestyle. It's just totally, and again, here I am hanging out with Tony Robbins. Like, how many people get to chill with Tony Robbins, let alone for like 4 or 5 hours, right? So it's just some really cool stuff. Here I am with Richard Branson. How many people get to do that, right? How many people know Richard Branson? He owns Virgin Air, right? Think about that. Cool stuff. All right, so you get to do some really awesome stuff when you do this. Here we are, we're in Grand Turk here. Okay, it's just again, if you get in before I close this webinar out, you're good to go. And I'm going to be closing it out in just a few moments after we answer the Q&A. All right, here's one of my daughter's cheer competitions here. All right, let me show you the Facebook group here. I'm going to show you. Let's see, where can I find it? So you'll go to Kindle Cashflow Mastermind. We've got 591 members here. All right, 591 members. So this is the group, Kindle Cashflow Mastermind. Go in, request access, and we will approve you. All right, once you get your order placed in. So that's pretty much it. If you're not in already, you can get in now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more slides before I close this out, and then after that it's too late. I want to show you some testimonials here. Let me show you something. These are some of our students and what they're doing. And these are people that started at ground zero. Take a look at this young lady is actually from Germany. I actually met her in London, and she came up. She took me out to dinner. She was so just really pleased with her first month, being able to make $1,000 her first month. She says, Ty, you're my guest here. Your money's no good. Let me take you out to dinner. Your system has totally changed my life. Her name is Sabina. Take a listen.
Hi guys, my name is Sabine Kohler and I started with the Kindle Cashflow system mid of April and published so far 3 Kindle books with 6 more books in the making as we speak. They will be published over the next 2 weeks, so I'm quite a newbie on Kindle, but I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I bribed my friend Sonia to come on board as she has a wealth of knowledge with regards to health, nutrition and fitness. She's actually a holistic health coach. And I'm also very interested in health, and most of our topics are actually related to health. And together we are just the perfect team. We find it helpful to outsource the writing of our books. However, once we receive the books back, we spice them up and put our own stamp on them. And this has worked very well so far. Our first book, How to Get Your Dream Body and Keep It, the 6-week body makeover for a flat belly, toned arms and killer legs, published under the pen name Kim Ellis, was off to a flying start right from the beginning, generating over $1,000 in royalties in the first 4 weeks. We also have published How to Start a Daycare in 5 Easy Steps, Don't Get Your Fingers Burned, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Skyrocket Your Daycare Business to Success, and OMG, My Son is Gay, How You Can Help Your Son Coming Out and Keep Him Safe. And the 2 more to be launched over the next couple of days are No More Panic and Diagnosed with Hashimoto's What's Now. What I like about the Kindle Cashflow system is that it is a complete step-by-step system. Usually you buy a program and you get to work just to find out some really important pieces of the puzzles are missing and you can't get it to work. This is why I have been reluctant to buy more courses in the recent past. And this is also why it took me so long to come on board with Ty's course. However, Ty's course is different. It's actually a complete course, and if I'm stuck, I just drop his support team a quick email, which I'm allowed to do once a week, and usually it takes them just 48 hours to come back to me. And that's pretty cool. I can wholeheartedly actually recommend you to get started when you are after a step-by-step system and you have never actually published books on Kindle before. It's a great course. Bye.
Okay, cool. So again, she's over in Germany, and like I said before, we literally have students that are everywhere. So let's have some Q&A really quickly. I want to answer some questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you're not in already, go in and ask your questions. Let's see. Stephen says, absolutely you can, Stephen. What is your email address? Stephen, send me your email address and I'll put that, I'll actually have someone send that over to you just a few minutes after we end, okay? All right, so send me your email address, and if you put it up here, I actually have to save this. Oh, Patrick, you're not able to find it. Kindle Cashflow Mastermind Group on FB. Patrick McCoy. I can go in and add you. Let me show you the group once again. It's a closed group, so you may not be able to find it. If you follow the instructions in the email that you got, Patrick, okay, you can go in and join it. Also, give me Patrick, do me a favor, place your, oh, okay, you got it now. Got it, awesome. Yeah, cash flow is 2 words. All right. Before this cafe, I was trying everything. Right, and just trying a little bit of everything, to be honest with you, and really couldn't get any momentum. I had some successes on and off, but I couldn't get anything that was consistent. So that's that. All right. Eddie, absolutely, yes. Eddie says, will we be able to speak with you at times? Yes, absolutely. All right, let's see. What are some of the other questions that you have before we close this out? And you can go up to kcf2.com to get in before I close this out. Absolutely, Stephen, let's do it. Oh, 3 lines of defense, absolutely. So here, thank you, Terry. Your first line of defense is always going to be your title. All right, write this down. Your title is your first line of defense. My title is my first line of defense. Your second line of defense is going to be your cover. Your third line of defense is going to be your description. And the reason why is your title, most women, well, the majority of the buyers on Amazon when it comes to ebooks are buyers, are women across the board. Now, that does change according to the genre and the topic, obviously. But titles should always be where you put the most emphasis on, outside of, doing things like the proper research. And I show you in this program where else you could do research besides the Google Keyword Planner tool. There's other places that I give you as well. But the reason why your title works so well is because women are usually very analytical. And the first thing that women pay attention to are the titles. They'll go in, they'll read it, they'll see if it resonates with them, if it covers what they're looking for, and then they'll dive deeper. Men, on the other hand, we're more surface-based, so we pay attention to the cover, how things look, the outside. That's what gets us into trouble sometimes, right? So with both of those, whether your prospect is paying attention to the cover or the title, think about that, women, and tell me if I'm right or wrong with this. Do you pay attention to the title first, right? Think about your buying habits. And then men, we look at the cover. And then after both of those individuals, the cover viewer as well as the person who pays attention to the title, all right, then they go in and they take a deeper look and they'll look at the description. All right, so that's why, again, your title is your first line of defense. Get those tied up, right? And then your cover. And in this program, I show you where to get your covers created for $5, and then your description. And I show you how to properly format your description as well. All right. Ruth says, you said you would tell us the best price to sell Kindle books for. Absolutely, Ruth. So the best price point that I found recently, and this changes, so I'm always split testing, is $4.99. $4.99. All right. Wow, it looks like 3 more people signed up ever since within the last 5 minutes. That is incredible. We've got some really fast action takers here. All right, 3 more people signed up within the last 5 minutes. Again, very, very, very impressive there. So pat yourself on the back if you're one of those 3 individuals. We're going to be closing this out now, and let's see, what else do we have as far as other questions? Is there anyone that's on the fence right now that wants to get in but they're not in? Maybe it's a question, maybe you want to talk it over with your spouse, your significant. If that's the case, okay, write down the URL, kcf2.com/start. Write this down right now so you don't lose out on it, kcf2.com/start. Okay, so that way if you have to talk it over or think it over, you at least have the URL. I don't want you to miss out on this. Let's cover some objections. All right, what are some reasons why you probably didn't get in yet? Is it because you think that you can't write? Well, you don't have to write with this system. You don't have to be a writer. I don't write any of my ebooks. I outsource everything. You're not good with technology, right? When it comes to technology, that's not something that you have to be great at with this system. Mimi says, yes, I need to talk to hubby. So yes, Mimi, take down that URL, write it down, kcf2.com/start. All right, and even if you get in after watching the replay, then we'll still honor the bonuses. Okay, what else do we have? You've never outsourced. Outsourcing is extremely easy. Again, it's like riding a bicycle. The first time you do it, and the way I lay this out for you, how to do it in the program, you're going to be a master at outsourcing before you know it. And the other thing is, you know, when you first start to outsource, don't try to go in and outsource a huge project. Go in and hire someone to write 10 pages for you. Right? That way you have less skin in the game. You get that accomplished. It's all about building up your confidence. And then after that, everything else becomes a piece of cake. I don't have the time. Well, honestly, to be honest with you, you don't have the time not to do this. If you're comfortable with where you're at right now, and most people want more in life, it's just human nature to want more, to want better relationships, to be able to provide our children with more. That's my ultimate goal, is to be able to provide my wife and my family with more, right? I can't afford it. Again, as I said earlier, you can't afford not to. Okay, I just want to show you again. Let me show you another testimonial here from someone. This is a gentleman. His name is Steve, and his topic that he chose was paddle surfing. His first time, $400. Take a listen to Steve.
Hi, you guys. Hey, I just want to tell you a little bit about Ty's Kindle program. It's pretty amazing. I've been messing around with internet stuff for 3 years, and I think all of us who've been playing around with it have heard all the hype. There's no hype in this. This thing works amazing. My name, again, I don't know if I mentioned it, Steve Schreier. I have, let's see, after a week of listening to his tapes, I had a book up and running, and now I have 5. I have 2 of them that are very successful, and one of them is called How to Stand Up and Paddle for Beginners, and the other one is How to Stand Up and Paddle Surf for Beginners. And those have been increasing every month. So to give you an example, my first month I made $200. The next month is $300. And my goal is to every month keep on adding a book, and that way I know my residual income will keep on increasing. That's the cool thing is, one of the things that I loved about Ty's program is that it was effortless. Ty cuts through all the bull. He cuts your learning curve down, because if you check out his tips and tricks, you'll realize that a lot of this stuff you would never have figured out unless he told you up front. I'll give you one example. It's pretty funny. The other day, he mentioned that, you know, hey, price your books at a reasonable price and then start increasing them and see what happens. I did that last week, and I increased my books by about 15%, and I sold more books. And these are the kind of tips and tricks that you would never find out on your own, and Ty has experienced this. So all these things, you put it together, you have an effortless way of making money. You don't have to know, any technology. So it's probably the best thing that you can do right now to make money on the internet, including the growth of the Kindle program. It's an outrageous setup. So take advantage of Ty and his wisdom, and buy the program. You'll have way too much fun with it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Steve is an action taker, and right now, you know, he's doing over $9,000 a month with this program. So just someone else who, again, is kicking butt. He's kicking butt, and he's taking names. You know, you can get in right now at kcf2.com/start. I'm going to answer maybe 2 or 3 more questions, and then we'll close it out. And I see we've got more people that have actually joined over the last couple of minutes. So Rosie, thank you for joining. Joanne, thank you for joining. Kendrick, thank you for joining. Awesome. I have a niche market that includes 60 million worldwide. Wow, That's big, Curtis. Let's see, what else do we have? Any other questions coming in? Let's see, what else do we have? Okay. Stephen, I have your email address. I'll have someone reach out to you. All right, so let's see what else do we have here. And I think I'm going to close it out. It looks like all of the questions have been answered. You folks are amazing. I want to, again, thank you for joining me on this presentation. All right, and there you go. Give yourself a hand and have a great day, great night, great morning, no matter where it is in your part of the country. And I appreciate you being here. Bye-bye. Make sure you write down the URL as well so that you can have it later if you want to get in.